tonight's stream, but I remember, right, DMCA. Probably not the best thing to do right now. Hello, hello, hello.
Yay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. How you doing, TSS?
Good. We have things to talk about because, oh my god.
It has been an enormous week, man, with so much shenanigans going down, and we have a lot to discuss, especially things that happened early in the week. Like,
Mm-hmm.
those are things we need to talk about, man.
Absolutely.
Tonight's gonna be a fun night, I'd like to believe. Let me check if we are indeed live. Please, chat,
Yes,
if
well.
you can hear us loudly and clearly, let me know so I can make sure that I'm actually running this thing perfectly fine and there's no hiccups whatsoever. So, all right, there we go. Chat's out here saying hello and hi and all that jazz. All right. So how you guys all doing? To Stuffwell, to Snipes, Ebo, hi Prof. Hello everybody. I see Donnie as well there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for tonight, ladies and gents. Joker, how you doing? Welcome one and all to another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals gather around to go and talk about things that have gone down within this past week. And boy, there is a lot to cover, especially during this first hour, because we have so much to pretty much break down in a quick time too, because obviously you guys already know when we do these podcasts, most of the time we focus on whatever gaming news that tend to go down within the week, and we have a lot of it. But of course, aside from that, we're also going to be sharing our opinions and thoughts on the latest episode of PM 2019, so make sure to tune in for that bit later tonight as well. So without further ado, let's get ourselves right into tonight's session and have a damn good one. So, TSS, I believe you said you had quite a couple of things you personally wanted to talk about. Is there anything maybe that
Yes.
might tie to what we're going to be discussing for tonight, or is it just a separate thing all on its own?
Well, it's a separate thing all of its own, but this has to be done because of course the music guru in me cannot ignore the fact that we have new old tracks that surfaced about 2 weeks ago because I actually looked on Spotify after I found the song, and it's only been uploaded on there for 17 days. Now, it's no mistake that Rika is a fantastic vocalist. Rika Matsumoto is a fantastic vocalist. You know, she has done a lot of things for Pokemon, Kamen Rider, among other things. But today, I think I found her probably her best performance vocally in her career, or one of the best. And that comes from an anime from 1992, and it's called Matchless Raijin O. Now, the song that I'm talking about is Bokura no Hero Zettai Muteki Raijin O, and I have a Spotify link. And I tell you, when I heard this track, it was a complete surprise because I'm I'm used to more of the later overdriving vocals because Rika has, everybody knows Rika has a kind of, the growl and the grit in her voice. But this is one of the few tracks that she was really impressive in, and I have to link the Spotify thing right now
I
because
wanted to make sure, just real quick, you called it the Matchless Raijin 04, right?
no,
Because I
I
see
just
one here. I went to Apple Music just out of curiosity to check. I noticed that there is one that's called Matchless Rising 04 Original Motion Picture Soundtrack 3, and
that's not the right. That is not the one.
yeah, but it does
No,
have
it's
her
an
in there though. I'm saying.
yes, but this is not. But the one that we have, the one the song was from is from the vocal collection, Volume One.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, Rika, like I'm gonna go music geek here, so just be wary because to 11 years of music analysis, it gets the geek in me.
Of course,
So
go right ahead, buddy.
this is so in the choruses you have Rika hitting like sustained B4s and C5s for like anywhere between 2 and 5 seconds, and the way that she hits the notes are so fucking effortless. Now it's not now the thing is not to discount any of her other vocal performances. If you want another Rika fantastic vocal, it's Blackbird from a few years later where she hits like fucking was it C#5 and D5s, but there's more tension in the voice. There's more friction in the voice. If you want to hear Rika at her absolute peak, she was like 24 when she sung these vocals. You have to listen to this song. It is absolutely, it is stunning. It is amazing, and it's one of those things where, wow, I didn't even know she was able to sing like that. Now, needless to say, because I have to be a little bit of a bluntness here. Can she sing that song today? No. Uh,
No, sorry.
no way.
And that's not
24-year-old
being mean
Rika.
to her.
It's not being reading to her, but the thing is, though, Rika at 24 is not the same as Rika at 52. Because today you'll be lucky if she hits anything higher than a G4 without growling or birding her voice. And I don't think she can sustain a B4 for 4 seconds anymore. I don't think that's possible. Maybe 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, yes, but today, no.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think so.
I went to check just because I liked the song and I was like, shit, am I gonna have to do the illegals? So I went to Apple Music and they have it in here as well. They
Yeah,
have the
because
vocal collection.
yeah, because literally, this was posted less than 3 weeks ago. So they've been sitting on this shit for almost 20 years.
They've had this under their belt this whole time and they never released it. So to those who don't know, it's also going to be available not just on Spotify, but it also is available via Apple Music. So if you have that streaming
Untitled.
platform, you can do it there. Once again, it's titled Matchless Raijin O Vocal Collection 1, as it's titled here.
And it's the second track. And
And it's all
there's
good
actually a
track.
few.
It's all good track. Jesus.
Yes, and then also the other Rika tracks on the other collection, the other vocal collections too are great as well. And there's also one track by Megumi Harashibara, and if you listen to her vocals on that, it's so freaking light. Because if you know Megumi, Megumi is Musashi, or Lena
It's
Inverse
extra.
has nothing. I mean, it's like nothing like her real voice. It's like so light. But yeah, that Rika vocal on that song, it's like now this is my favorite Rika song of all time. It's not a fucking Pokemon song. But yeah, to think that in 1992 she was able to freaking sustain a C5 for 3 seconds, and then you go on Best Wishes and she barely hits a C5 on top. And that's
Oh
from 10
wow,
years
there
ago.
there are a lot of songs. I went to check. She's in Volume Collection 2 and in Volume Collection 3 here. She has a
Yes.
song with a collaboration between herself and Saori Suzuki. In a
Yes.
song called Koi no Dodgeball Sakusen.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
Oh, it's a part 2 apparently as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of tracks here that I never learned from Rika's past. So this is gonna be a fun listen to go through all these tracks
Oh
here.
yeah, like I said, it's just puring. This is I'd say is Rika's peak, like early '90s, before she started to really start doing the raspy vocals that she's more accustomed to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So overall, yeah, I'm excited to take a listen to some of them. I got a chance to listen to the other one though, the one you uploaded to our messenger thing, and I really loved her performance, especially when she hits that like final chord before the instruments kick in. Bro,
Yeah, yeah, like at the end,
she hits
like
it hard and long, like it goes way good.
yeah, yeah, because at the end of the choruses, she holds out that's a B4. She holds it out for like 3 to 4 seconds, and the last one she holds it out for like 5 seconds. Like and it's so fucking clean too. It's like no, like almost like no rasp, like effortless, and that's what I call an impressive vocal.
So
Absolutely impressive.
So to those who want to check it out, make sure to either check it via wherever platform you have available for you, whether it be on Apple Music, Spotify, or any other streaming service that might potentially have Japanese tracks in there. I will
Yes.
say though, for Apple Music, back when it first launched, it was a little bit iffy when it came into listening to music outside of America, at least in the US side of things. But recently they've been getting a lot better. Like what was
Mm,
it? Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's opening that just
mm,
dropped recently. When I was checking to see if it was available on Apple Music at the time, it was not because it wasn't the new day for us yet here in Eastern Standard Time. But when the new day hit, the song became available for us here. So yeah, it's stuff like this. They've become much more accessible now to not
yes.
only listen to tracks outside of your country and, another big deal, support the content creators or support the musicians. Like, we get to legally support some of our favorite artists now outside of Japan in like this way, and it's pretty cool, and I love it. So,
Yeah.
once again, if you ever want to listen to any Japanese music that you might be familiar with, whether it be like we're talking about here with Rika Matsumoto, or maybe see something around the lines of like other genres out there, like Akino with Bless 4, or let me think off the top of my head. Even After the Rain, to an extent, is also available on Apple Music too. I don't think 123 is available there, but I have to double check on that again. Ace Collection, just to name a few. So,
Mm,
but yeah, so all go for it, ladies and gents. Like, listen to music out there and support the official release as always. All
yes.
right, so once again, TSS, thank you for bringing that up to my attention as well. I always love listening to new tracks that have just been hidden within the vaults of
Yeah, because it's like for me, I like to collect music, but it's like unearthing tracks that are like almost 30 years old. That's like you run into the gold mine.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 123 is available here. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So they do
Ollie,
have
why did you comment whoopty?
I don't know.
What do you freaking do?
whoop de doo,
Hello, by the
whoop
way.
scoop de
I
doo.
just love the I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Just don't question it, damn it.
Why'd you put whoopty? I don't
I
know.
don't know, because I was trying to make my presence known, but I didn't really know how to do that.
That
So
whoopty.
whoop de
That
doo.
whoopty. That whoopty.
Whoopty!
Shoop the whoop, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you meant to put whoopee, but I think the T got involved. And
Well,
it,
no, it's a
Whoopty.
song. That's
oh,
whoopty.
okay, gotcha. I thought you were like whoopty.
And also, hi Tyrone. How you
Yeah.
doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
All right. Well, oh yeah, Pico with a bow says
It's
Felipe
mad
has
at
a
me.
Spotify playlist of all Pokemon songs available. Oh, sweet, Felipe.
Wait, what did you say, Polly?
Kevin didn't say hi to me.
Yeah, he did. He said hi.
No.
He did.
So does PM.net. By the way, we have our own
But
Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
It's called This Is Pocket Monsters.
And then we kicked somebody down the sewer.
Yeah, pretty much down the stairs.
Like
Also, by
300.
the way, check out PM.net. They actually did a revamp to the site not too long ago. Looks nice, really.
Yeah.
It looks really clean. Love how it looks, man.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. So, once again, let's introduce everybody once again into the call before we go any further into our main topic for tonight. We got Tyrone the God 3, we got TSS, and we got our buddy Age of Trade / Polly up in here tonight. So, folks, you already know what time it is. It's the first hour bullshit hour. So, what do we have to talk about for the first hour? I mean, it's no surprise. Come on, it's literally in the title of the stream itself. We're talking about E3, or at least the
The
end of
Mew
E3.
Project.
So, just to give people a bit of a catch up here for a second, in our last session, we actually talked about E3's first and second official day, which was focused on Ubisoft, Microsoft, and Bethesda as well, as they included in that thing, Capcom, what else was there as well? Square Enix, and just a
Yeah.
bunch of other little smaller ones like Devolver. So we've tackled almost everything that they had to offer. The only thing at that time we didn't get a chance to discuss because it wasn't available yet was Nintendo and Bandai Namco, if I'm correct. So
Yeah.
tonight we're going to be talking about Nintendo's presentation as well as our final opinion as to who truly came out on top in this E3 presentation. But I guess as a whole, did E3 succeed this year? That's the real question. Was this E3 really needed, this year? Because as you guys know, we are still within the world of Backstreet Boys, even if it's not as like as big as it was last year, but still the effects are still out there. So that really does make you wonder, was
Mm.
E3 as a whole worth it this year? And let's get right into it. First of all, let's begin with Nintendo's presentation. And I think it's safe to say Nintendo really came out coming with gold in this presentation, man.
Mhm.
I will say, listen, Nintendo's Direct or Nintendo E3's presentation, there are a lot of games in there that you would not expect to see be there at E3 of all things. Like some of the titles that they had here felt like titles that would have been in like another presentation or just straight up not exist at all because you don't think that that franchise would ever come back to life. And then this year at E3, they came just straight up going ham with all the shit that they had from the very beginning when they had to introduce our Tekken representation in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the next DLC fighter, whose name flew off my mind, but I have to say it was Kazuya, if I'm correct.
Strugia, what the fuck?
Yeah, sorry, man. My brain is kind of pooped at the moment, so I apologize. I was gonna say Jin, but I know it's not
No,
Jin.
that's his son.
Yeah,
Jim
that's-
Kazuya is his son.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was the case, but no, Kazuma.
Yeah.
So let's begin with that now.
Kazuya is the father.
Yes, and which is which was the one that got thrown out in the cliff in the original game, wasn't it? Or was it the third game?
Kazuya threw out shit, who did he throw out in the original game? I want to say he threw out Hahachi. I gotta check.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
play the
point
first-
is, I
The
think
first game came out when I was really young, so I didn't play that one. I played all the other Tekkens after that.
the reason why I brought that up is because the beginning of that presentation within the Smash reveal was paying, in a way, an homage to that scene right
Yeah.
there, which is what a lot of people were able to immediately pinpoint when they got to see Ganondorf being dragged and just yeeted out into the mountainside. And then, of course, seeing, of course, Mr. Kazuma himself go out and just be now another fighter in the world of Smash Brothers Ultimate. So, here's the thing. He was needed. I mean, Bandai Namco is working on this franchise of Smash.
It was Hahachi. I was right, because Hahachi was his father.
Somebody keeps saying Kazuya. Is it Kazuya or is it Kazuma?
Yeah.
You guys keep
Okay,
saying Kazuma or Kazuya.
Let me clear this up. Kazuya is the character that was released in Smash. He was the main character in Tekken 1. His son, Jin Kazumi, is his son. Heihachi Mishima is Kazuya's abusive father. He's the one that Kazuya threw off the cliff in Tekken 1.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
It goes Heihachi is the grandfather, Kazuya is the father, and Jin Kazumi is the son. Got it?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So what's Tekken about? As someone who hasn't played Tekken, because I know you, Tyrone, out of all of us, I'd like to believe, is probably the one to play Tekken the most out of all of us here. Like, what's
Okay,
your take
so-
on just the character
I mean,
reveal?
it's a fighting game, so it doesn't really have much of a story per se. It has a story. Every character has their own backstory, but you mostly play it for the arcade factor, which is to beat the shit out of about 10 players until you fight the final opponent, which is ridiculously strong. And then you beat him, and then you're done, and it says game over, and it flashes, and you enter like 4 more quarters or whatever. So Tekken is a 3D style fighting game. It's technically one of the first. Obviously, CSS will correct me and tell me I'm wrong, but I mean, like, it's the one that got popularized. It was the main factor of Tekken was that characters can move from basically the Z-axis. They could scoot over to the left or scoot over to the right to dodge opponents who are doing punches forward. Basically, all the 2D fighters you ever knew of got shook because Tekken laid the groundwork for characters being able to sidestep.
Oh, so that explains Pokken, then.
But from a technical standpoint, Virtua Fighter came out first.
There it is. Okay, so yeah, but like I said, Tekken laid the groundwork of it. I mean, well, Virtua Fighter laid the groundwork of it, but Tekken was popular. So
And I guess you could say
Tekken was
Tekken
more
mastered
popular.
it. Like Tekken
Yeah.
made it like normal.
Tekken had the iconic characters that did it. Virtua Fighter has popular characters, but they ain't as popular as Tekken characters. So basically at that point, all you really need to know is Jin Kazuma is like the main character. But in the first Tekken game, his father Kazuya was the main character. Kazuya trained under his abusive father Heihachi Mishima. Heihachi Mishima has this demon blood in him that turns him into this fucking demon. But that means that Kazuya has this demon blood in him too, as well as Jin Kazumi. All three of them have the blood of the demon in them, and they can turn into demons at will. But Kazuya said it's time to stop this, and he attacked his father. Unfortunately, it turned him a little evil too, so that's why in Tekken 2, he's the main villain, and you control his son, which is Jin Kazama, and he pretty much mastered it to a way to where it won't take him over, and thus he fights off against him. And that's pretty much how it went. Also, the love of Jun Kazama, basically the Jim's mother, is kind of what allowed him to balance himself out so that he's not fucking completely evil like Kazuya and his grandfather were. Basically, that whole family line's fucked.
Yeah, I could tell. But you know what I could say, though, that is a positive? My man is rocking that tux in the ultimate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tekken was also really known for outfit changes. People had tons of different outfits they could wear. Some of them look a little out of place considering how serious the tone was sometimes. But the outfit changes were great. Like, you can control this one character, literally a bear. It's a fucking bear. And you want to know what his alternate costume is?
Yeah.
A panda bear. What? Yep.
Then you have King, which is like a freaking leopard.
That's a leopard. Literally a leopard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Tekken in a nutshell. And it was known for it was also known for having a lot of crossover characters jump into it, much like Soul Calibur. So one of those characters you may recognize Yoshimitsu.
Okay.
Everyone knows who Yoshimitsu is. He's this famous fucking samurai, and if you let him sit down, you basically lose the fight. And
What?
why? Because he has a fighting style that's kind of weird. And if he sits down, that's how he starts off his set. My favorite character personally is Hao Rang. Hao Rang is a kickboxing fighter who learned his moves from Law. Law is not only a cop, but he does a lot of different capoeiras. He does taekwondo. He has a bunch of different martial arts stuff. There's a bunch of like lore behind Tekken, but that's pretty much the groundwork of Tekken. And I'm really glad Tekken's getting representation in Smash Brothers.
So overall, how's your opinion on just this representation? Do you think they did him justice?
I love it. Now, honestly, I'm with a lot of other people. I think Jin Kazuma should have been the main character because it should have been the character in Smash because he's been the character in Tekken for pretty much every Tekken after the first one. But I see why they did it. Nintendo, when they add a character, they go very much for the core lore of the game. Basically, it's roots. It's one of the reasons why we ain't got like the advanced versions of other characters or like why most characters we end up getting as guests come from their basics. So they chose Kazuya because Kazuya is literally the main character in the first Tekken. So I guess they didn't want to stray away from that. I would have accepted him being an alternate skin for Jin Kazuma, but whatever.
Listen, man, if we had to sacrifice him for the tux, I'm going for the tux.
I think what they went for, they went ahead and because out of all they also probably wanted to have a little bit more like evil people in fucking Smash Brothers.
I mean, this is a good follow up villain after Sephiroth. So
yeah, pretty much. I think that's what they were going for because like if they had put Jin Kazuma in, he's fine, but even the Tekken even the Tekken fan base will agree, he's kind of boring. He is much like the Ryu in Street Fighter, kind of boring.
Aw, damn. He's the mascot of a world filled with chaotic, insane people.
Yeah, every character is more interesting. And you would think he'd be pretty interesting because he has a demon form. He has good and evil. His whole journey was balancing the two out. But he ended up overcoming it, so he's more or less just Jin Kazuma now. And that's not as interesting as fucking Demon Guy throwing people off cliffs.
Now, I will say, though, it was nice seeing Heihachi appear in the background. I wonder if that could also indicate we might potentially see some other fighters appear in the background.
Still be in the background,
to the what was it? The Fatal Fury.
Ooh, that means hopefully we get Yoshimitsu in the background. His stupid ass.
Make him an opponent that actually appears on stage and fucks you up if you get
I
close to.
hope I hope Hao Rang is making a cameo because I like how he's my main in Tekken.
I wouldn't think they'd only just include one character. There has to be more. It's Sakurai. Sakurai goes above and beyond. You saw what he did for Fatal Fury. I don't think he's going to just skip out on Tekken, man. Especially Tekken is such a big influence to a lot of fighting games out there.
Yeah,
so.
a bit of lore on Hao Rang. Hao Rang is a fighter who he knows Taekwondo, but he knows a style in which you can switch him from one leg to the other. If you switch to his right leg style, he has a whole set of combos he can do with that. If you switch to his left leg combo, he has a whole set of combos he can do with that. Tekken is all about combos. Literally, the name of the game of Tekken is to catch your opponent and dodge their attacks by sidestepping and use a billion combos to keep them in the air as long as possible. You're basically juggling them.
Now then, let me go and check real quick. Any final thoughts, though, Tyrone, in regards to?
I'm glad. Like, this was definitely the out of the box character we need. He's a straight up fighter, so nobody can complain that he's an anime sword guy because he's fucking not. He's a straight up fighter. He represents a fighting game, which is cool, and he's got just the level of like spice I think we needed in Smash Brothers. I love the picture where like. Somebody put this picture, and I'll have to find it and show you later. But Kazuya is about to throw somebody off a cliff, and Donkey Kong's like, "Relax, Tekken guy. This is a game for kids." And he goes, "Fuck them kids."
I will say the trailers are the edits that people made of that trailer have been some of the most meme-worthy shit ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Kirby ones when like they throw him down and then of course you hear the signature scream when he's falling down into the cliff, or the Spanish version. I forgot which one was the other. It's like, I want to see it like that.
I love that the Kirby one is essentially the Simpsons meme. You know, the one where the bartender throws the guy out and he's right behind him?
Yeah, that's Kirby right there.
I like that.
Mo. Yeah, or they're using the one where the watermelon splats on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just right there.
So funny. I found the picture. Hold on, I'm about to give it to you.
Oh my god, I'll share it on Twitch then. For all the folks to see. But yeah, there's so many good ones, man. Oh, this one, yes.
How are you off the cliff? He's like, fuck them kids.
Oh my god, hold on, let me show it to Chad.
So funny.
I love how it's Donkey Kong of all people that's saying it. Why Donkey Kong? Why is he so fluent in English all of a sudden?
I like that he calls him Tekken guy.
Tekken guy.
Fuck them kids.
Oh my god.
And Kazuya would be the person that says fuck them kids. Now, TSS actually said some history about Virtua Fighter. Tekken was very much the response to Virtua Fighter. I will say that. And it was supposed to be like, you know how Street Fighter is King of Fighters like combat game? Mm-hmm. Like they compete against each other. Tekken was Virtua Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they competed against them all.
Because it was Sega versus Namco.
Yeah, even to a point where I believe one of the Virtua Fighters wound up in a Tekken game, I think. I can't remember which one though.
Was it, what's his name? The karate guy. What the fuck is his name?
From
Akira. Yeah, probably Akira, right?
Okay, yeah, it might be. I'm gonna look it up.
Akira for Virtua Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't he the one that's the assist trophy? In Smash?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one
got
in the
like
assist trophy.
He's got the white outfit with the black belt on, and
he has the karate outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, Akira. Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. Yep, that's the one.
I find it amazing. We're in a game now where we can have legitimately Tekken versus Street Fighter or Tekken versus Fatal Fury.
By the way, they finally canceled Tekken versus Street Fighter after 11 years.
Yeah, well, probably because they put Tekken in Smash.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're gonna cancel it? Fine, we'll do it ourselves.
Right, I'll do it.
And that announcement was basically today. It's like 11 years. It took you fucking 11 years to cancel a game.
You know
It's
what's
like
the
fucking
funny?
It's like fucking Duke Nukem Forever, right?
You know what's the funny thing though, TSS? That entire thing you're talking about years later, that shit is the best way to summarize this year's E3 for Nintendo. It is franchises that were dead or haven't happened since
dude.
forever and are coming back to life all of a sudden.
The revival arc.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip a couple of things from this presentation because I know we're not gonna go too much into detail. Like, for example, I don't think we're gonna talk about Life is Strange. We're not really gonna talk about the Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy, because they kind of did that in Ubisoft, so we talked already about that.
They
not Ubisoft, I'm sorry, Square Enix.
They played that game to death.
Worms Rumble, Astria Ascending, it looks like a mobile game, no disrespect, it does look like it's built like from a mobile game and then they brought it to Switch. 2 Point Campus, similar approach as well. Let's move on into the next title though. This is one that is also very significant because it is a game that is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. That being of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Oh.
Super Monkey Ball. Now, here's the cool thing about this title, guys. It is basically the 3 games everybody loves from Super Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball, the original, the sequel, and Deluxe. All of those 3 are being remastered for this year. And they look super clean. And also, judging from the prices as well, from what I saw online, it's going to be only $40.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is a collection worth getting. I think for a game like this, it looks like it could be a lot of fun.
And people play the shit out of Monkey Ball Deluxe.
Oh my god, have you seen, like...
Speed runs. Oh my god.
Also, hi there, Phantom Dan. Thank you for tuning in. But, yeah, so... Speed runs of Super Monkey Ball is some of the best, man. I swear to god, I love that so much.
Yeah, you just see him drop for like fucking 20 seconds into ether and it comes out. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, it was level win. I'm like, okay, good job, Mr. Monkey Man. Like, they really killed it with Super Monkey Ball. I don't really have much more to say on it. It's just a really good thing to see Monkey Ball get some representation and good ones. It's like, if we're going to make a new Super Monkey Ball after this, I hope that this remaster project that they're working on is a way for them to kind of revitalize their enjoyment. Catalog. Yeah, now, funny thing, though. I don't know if you guys know this. Fun little fact. Apparently, the person who worked on Super Monkey Ball is currently the one working on the Yakuza series. I'm not kidding about that. I legitimately found out about that shit earlier today. I was like, hold on a second. I gotta find it real quick here. Let me see if I can see it. Good moment as any to appreciate the change of looks of Toshihiro Nagoshi from creating Super Monkey Ball to creating Yakuza. This man created these 2 franchises that you see right now. Yakuza and Super Monkey Ball. I just want you to understand the creativity that this man has to go from a monkey with a ball into Yakuza.
Like there's a lot of other games that have been created by people that have weird ranges, and I want to find them now.
Yeah, here's one of them then. Much respect to Toshihiro Nagoshi. So seriously, go check out some of the works he's done in the past, and you'll be surprised. I just want to
be like the person who made Bomberman made Dark Souls or some shit. Like, just run into something weird.
It says here he did also work on F-Zero GX. Wow, I didn't know about that one though. Huh. So this man has that range. Holy shit.
The person that made Minesweeper also made fucking like Forza. Like it's just really weird.
Oh my god. So let's see. Continuing on, if we have nothing much more to add for Super Monkey Ball, let's go and talk about Tyrant's.
Whoa. Polly, wasn't Polly here?
Yes. She said she had to go night for a bit.
Shit. She would have had something to say because I don't know shit about Super Monkey Ball except I think that monkey I or whatever it's called was in Sonic Riders one time. That's all I remember.
Good game though, Sonic Riders. Very underrated though.
I don't know why that monkey was in there. I guess because Sega.
Yeah, I mean Sega is representation. I mean it'd be a surprise.
Well, wait, wasn't that monkey in one of the racing games too? The car racing.
Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so. Or there was a stage for it. I want to say.
Yeah, probably. I just know the monkey was in the damn Sonic Riders game because I unlocked it.
Nice. Now, here's the next game that we got to talk about. Tyrone, this is one of your favorites as well. Now, actually thinking about
Ah,
it,
shit.
yeah, Mario Party Superstars.
Fuck you.
Aw, but okay. So, do you guys remember Mario Party, the top 100 that came out for the Nintendo 3DS, which was literally just all of 100 mini games that were from all franchises within Mario Party, but no boards?
Nah.
Yeah, let's just take that concept, bring it back, and this time actually add the thing that people love about Mario Party. Boards. And it's not just new boards, it's actually remakes of the original ones from Nintendo 64. We're talking about the one from Mario Party 1, which is Peach's Cake, and we're talking about Spaceland, which is from Mario Party 2, which is where we have the Piccolo laser beam attack if you ever happen to be in the middle of it. So, but yeah, it's such a good thing to see this kind of game be brought up, but it is a surprise to see it be brought up now. I will say this is something a lot of fans have been asking for years now, and it's kind of surprising to see it show up suddenly now. Here's my thing.
I'm gonna be honest. When I saw like the Mario Party 2 mini games show up, this is what was happening in my head.
Emptiness. The voids.
Y'all hear that?
No, I hear you like underwater for some reason. Taro, where are you?
I'm surprised they didn't let me do it. I was playing the fucking war noises on my phone.
I think you have the settings, yeah.
Cancellation, yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine just having that weird noise in the background in your head, just being like, oh, yeah, look, Mario Party 2. Fun times, isn't it, Tyrone? Oh, man, but Mario Party 2, it was a good game. And now you can play it again in remastered edition. It's Mario Party Superstars coming out later this year, which, by the way, that's the big theme about Nintendo Directs that I think really gave them the upper edge against its competitors. A lot of these games are coming out this year. Yeah.
Wait, the chat heard it. What the fuck? That's weird. Okay.
Did you guys hear it? No, Tia said, did you hear it? No, right?
No.
Or maybe they're just assuming that's the noise you're making.
Goggle said machine guns going off.
Well, I didn't hear anything. Unless there's some exclusivity going on here with your headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, something's going on. Anyway.
Yeah, it's all good, buddy. All right, let's continue on then. So, yeah, if you want Mario Party Superstars, it's going to be having online as well. So, if you want to play with your friends online, it is there. And in case if you're worried, do not, because they also have save points through every turn. And that allows you to jump back into the game without needing to worry whatsoever at the exact spot that you guys ended it off the previous turn. So, yeah, good shit. So, I'm very happy with it. It's coming out later this year. And hopefully it's a fun game. So, I can't wait for the remixes, though. Oh, my God, the remixes of Mario Party 3 songs are going to be so goddamn good. I can't wait. All right. Now, then, let's get to the meat of what really made this E3 for Nintendo come out on top. This one title, a title that has been in development for 15 years now, gone through many development and cancellations over time and time and time again. Metroid 5 is after 19 years. I just want to remind people, 19 years, almost 2 decades since the release of Metroid Fusion, which came out on the GBA, is now finally getting a follow-up story, and Metroid's adventure continue into Metroid Dread, which is supposedly the end of an arc for this franchise. Now, it's not the end of the game as a whole, but it's the end of Metroid's arc. The arc that we've been with this series since its beginning, which is regarding those creatures, the Metroid itself. So this is going to be a very big deal for the Metroid franchise. This has been something that the folks at Nintendo have been working on for.
Adam Dan 53, thank you for the follow.
Thank you so much for the follow. They've been working on this for 15 years, man. I think my favorite thing about this title is that it's called Dread, because the canceled project, when it got announced back in like 2005 or 2006, it was also called Metroid Dread at that time. And that's
Yeah.
what everybody was going nuts about. So if you ever go online and watch reactions to Metroid, there are three type of reactions. Those that react to Metroid getting a new game, those that go crazy when they see Metroid 5, and those that go insane when they see Metroid Dread. That shows you the tier level of how far
Yeah.
a fan is for Metroid, man. So really, the reactions that you should see online, like who was it? Shokyo's reaction to that was amazing because he went. Arlo's reaction to it was insane. Some call me Johnny's was just as great as well. Like there were so many good reactions to the announcement of Metroid Dread. Like it is a very big deal, but it is a very important moment for the Metroid franchise. Right now, it is the number one best seller, or for Switch right now for pre-orders.
Pre-order.
Yeah, for pre-order
This
sales.
is Metroid. This is Metroid 4. And this is to go even further beyond. Dread!
Oh, I thought you were saying Dread.
I did.
Nah, for real though. Metroid Dread is coming out this year. You, the fans, need to put in the effort to make this game sell. If they see that there is still an audience for Metroid, they will continue to spit out these games more in the future. This is our
I'll buy
one
it, and I'm not even a
opportunity.
Metroid fan.
You're excited for it?
I said, shit, I'll buy it, and I'm not even a Metroid fan.
Just
so that the series can get some love. Jesus Christ. I feel so bad for Metroid fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Because, like, what was the last big game aside from, what was it, Samus Returns, which was a remake of Metroid 2? The last real new game they got was Metroid, or not Metroid, it was like Federation Force. So, you guys already know the story for that shit, so I ain't gonna go further into that. So, overall, good thing for Metroid fans, and I'm gonna go there and support that as well. I can't wait to try it out. I've played the Metroid series growing up, but I wasn't anywhere near like a super fan compared to like a lot of people out there. You know, I enjoyed the Metroid series. I got to play Metroid Fusion when it dropped as well, and that was such an incredible and very suspenseful kind of game. Like there are a lot of horror elements in Metroid Fusion on a GBA game, no less. So, you know, it's a game that I really recommend people try out. If you love this whole... it defined a genre. It created a genre. Metroidvania, like, it's in the title there, too. Like... Metroid is such a significant deal for the hearts of many. So to see it get a new game, a new 2D game at that, and not just a remake for fans out there, definitely puts smiles on people's faces. So I can't wait to see how things are going to shape up for Metroid later this year. Also, I got to keep my eye on the websites because I got to see whenever they restock on the limited edition set. Because I want to buy that shit so bad.
Yeah.
And the Metroid Amiibos too, because it looks just as good. All right, so let's continue on. Nobody cares about this next title. Just Dance. All right, moving on.
Like the Todrick Hall's in it.
Okay, here we fucking
but
go.
the other title that was attached to Just Dance, though, was there. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in just as much as Metroid, Cruisin' Blast is a game that's coming out exclusively to consoles on the Nintendo Switch. TSS, I'm going to pass this on to you because I think out of all of us here, you are probably the biggest Cruisin' fan out there.
Yes, absolutely, because this needed to fucking happen. So first of all, for people who are not familiar with the Cruisin' series, it started in 1994 with Cruisin' USA. In the arcades. Cruisin' was originally an arcade franchise. Cruisin' USA came out in 94 in the arcades. Then it was ported to the N64 in 1996. It wasn't a launch title, but it came out in fall of that year. And it was a million seller. It was really popular, really great arcade racer. I'd say it defined realistically the genre. Especially for arcade racers back in those days. You know, people say Ridge Racer, but I disagree. It's actually Cruisin' USA. Then Cruisin' World came out in 98. Came out in 96 in the arcades and 98 on the N64. I personally like Cruisin' World better than Cruisin' USA because it's much better gameplay in my opinion. Then in 2000, Cruisin' Exotica, that also came out for the N64. And once again, that also came out in arcades in 99. It was more extreme, but like I said, I really liked Cruisin' World. Then you fast forward. Now, now originally the arcade games were made by a team over at Midway Games.
Mm-hmm.
And the founders of that specific wing, they created a company called Raw Thrills. And Raw Thrills created a Fast and the Furious game in the mid 2000s. And then that game was ported to the Wii in 2007 without the Fast and Furious license. But it sucked. It fucking sucked. So nobody fucking talks about that game. Finally, after fucking 21 years, well, Cruisin' Blast came out in trials as Cruisin' Adventure and there's other shit as well in arcades in 2016, and it got a 2017 release as Cruisin' Blast. But finally, after 21 fucking years, we have a real cruising game on a home console. There's the GBA one, but then again, that's the GBA.
Yeah, like
that came out like
home
02.
console release, like
a home console release. And on top of that, they're going to not only have the 5 original tracks that were in the base arcade game, we're also getting 25 more tracks. They showed off 24 extra tracks on the trailer, but assumingly there's probably going to be an extra track as a bonus track that they're not showing.
yeah.
But also they added a lot more vehicles. Like, back is the fucking school bus. We haven't seen the fucking school bus since Cruising USA.
Seatbelts, everyone.
Yes, and we also
Let
get a
this
fucking
be a normal field trip.
with the frizz. No way.
no way.
Aw.
And then we have a fucking Stegosaurus. We have a fucking hammerhead shark with a laser beam attached on his head, and we have fucking Pegasus.
Let's talk about Pegasus real quick. Was that Pegasus did like a little swerve in the middle while driving? That shit was great. I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna unlock that unicorn, that or Pegasus.
But
Pegasus
also-
I need to get immediately.
But also, what's added in this version as well is Nissan GTR, because I don't think the arcade version had a Nissan GTR.
Huh? Really now?
Yeah, and we're gonna have a lot of Chevy stuff, including I think the Corvette ZR8. The C8 Corvette, and also the Stingray Corvette.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's just a crazy amount of great content, and this feels like a fucking true cruising game that people like me have been waiting for fucking over 20 years, and I'm so fucking happy. And on top of that, 2 days after it was announced, they confirmed that it is getting a fucking physical release. So I am so fucking happy that Raw Thrills are going to release this in physical form.
This game deserves a physical release, man. I love the physical releases of these kind of titles because they deserve it. And Cruising Blast is another one for that.
Yeah, the only downside I would say is they didn't mention anything online. What you know what? I'll forgive them for that. But the thing is, though, 4-way split screen is back, baby. We're fucking back to 4-way fucking split screen like the good old days. And I'm really happy to see this game, finally come to home arcades and home consoles. It's a Nintendo IP that has been slept on for fucking 2 decades, and I'm really fucking happy that we're finally getting a thing. It's like I read a comment on YouTube that said that people that speedrun cruising games on a Discord server, they completely popped off when they saw this, and I completely understand.
Pop off.
Yeah.
Understandable, man. Like, what was it? Even going to Maximilian, dude, he popped off just as well when he saw Cruising Blast.
Pop off, bro.
Yeah, it's such a good day that day, because literally, if you were a fan of, say, the old days, like in the 2000s or even within the world of arcades, and you've been familiarized with like these kind of IPs, this direct really revived so many of them, and brought us this chance to see them all come back now in the current era.
Would you feel that the experience would be enhanced if you had like a wheel? Because they make them where you have like a wheel that you can like use to control it. Because they make the Nintendo Switch wheels.
Yeah,
do you think that would enhance the experience like an arcade?
Yes, I think so. If they go at it, well, I mean, they already have the Wii wheel and the Switch wheel, whatever
They
you want
should
to
make
call
it,
it.
but I'm saying like they should make a cruising blast wheel, like customizable
Oh,
wheel.
like a limited edition that includes the
Yeah.
wheel. Oh,
Uh
that would
huh.
be
Dude,
nice.
you want me to fucking spend $300 on a
No,
fucking wheel?
I don't like. You wouldn't have to spend $300,
No,
but
well, there are certain franchises that go out of their way to
Well,
include the
well,
set. You know.
here's the thing though. If it really wanted to be if it really wanted to be crazy, they could have support like the freaking Fantech wheels that are fucking direct drive and it costs like $800 up. You know that's drive cruising blast with a fucking direct drive wheel, like fucking so OD.
Sold. All right, then let us
I
continue
just feel
moving
like a wheel
forward.
would be very appropriate for an arcade car racing
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Maybe a reputable, maybe Hori will make a wheel. I don't know, but let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, it all depends on what goes down. It's still very early. We don't
Yeah,
know.
there's no release date. There's no release date, but apparently it's in the fall.
Yeah, it's coming out this year. That's another plus right there. This goddamn year. Metroid Dread this year. Cruising Blast, Super Monkey Ball. How could things get better? Well, there's a title coming out in just a couple of weeks, guys. Mario Golf Super Rush is coming out really soon. And
Yeah.
that is going to be getting free DLC content, similar to how Mario Tennis Aces dropped as well, with releasing new characters and new arenas included with that. So, in the E3 presentation, they showed off the Odyssey world in a golf format. So, I'm going to be interested to see how that's going to play out. But so far, I'm very excited. I love, love, love golf, and I love Mario Golf more than anything. I was a very big fan of the Mario Golf game that they had on the 3DS. I used to play that a lot with my buddies Adam and Wing, and we would just be going nuts over the stupid shenanigans we pull off in those titles, man. It was a lot of pure fun. So I hope that that level of charm still stays in Mario Golf, and that would be such a good title to play as well in the future for online as well. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Continuing on, though, we're gonna skip some titles because I don't think we need to go too far into them. Like Dragon Ball Kakarot. I mean, it's a game already released. We don't need to worry too
I'll,
much on
I'll,
it.
I'll comment briefly.
Okay.
I'm surprised that and I said this before when you were playing Black 2. I'm very surprised that the narrator for the Nintendo Switch like presentation, like the guy that does the voice that says all the games, I'm really surprised that he not only told all the sagas in order and correctly, I'm surprised that he got into a nice detail about it. Like he normally when something that's not Dragon Ball related talks about Dragon Ball related shit, things seem to get a little weird. This guy he went through it. He was like battle against Vegeta and Nappa in the Saiyan saga. Fight off against the evil galactic tyrant Frieza. Face off against biogenetic warriors in the Android and Cell saga. And finally take on the evil demon Majin Buu. And I'm like, alright, he knows his shit. I mean, it's scripted as fuck, but he knows his shit.
The person
Good
who made
job.
that script knew their shit too.
Good job. Good job, Nintendo guy.
And also,
job.
they separated the Saiyan and Frieza saga, so that's already a
That's
plus
what
in my
I
book.
said. Yeah, I was like, good job, Nintendo guy. Good job.
Nintendo
did
guy
it.
deserves a raise for just that
Yeah,
alone.
good fucking job. Good. They literally could have just said battle against evil androids, aliens, and tyrants in Dragon Ball Kakarot. And then they could have just called it a day. But no. They legitimately did a good job telling what the game is about. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, and that shit's basic, but I was impressed. But yeah, we can move on now.
All right, Monster Hunter Stories 2 also coming out in a few weeks. If you enjoyed the original Monster Hunter Stories, you'll enjoy this one. I'm as much excited for this game, and I'm not gonna buy it immediately because there's another title coming soon that we're gonna be talking about as well. That I'm as excited for the most, and honestly, I might go for that first.
Nah.
But let's continue on though. This is a title that TSS called for like I think a
Yes.
week prior to the E3.
Yes.
He called
That was the other one.
WarioWare. He asked for a Wario game. Nintendo was like, "We got you covered, boy." And he came out with WarioWare Get It Together. And I have to say, I just love the aesthetics of this new game. It looks so fun. First of all, Charles Martinet must have been having a blast voicing Wario in this trailer right here.
Yes.
Talking about his company and making games and micro mini games.
That's no good.
Yeah, like it looks just as fun as I remember with WarioWare. Now this time you get to play as all the characters, and each character has their own ability of some sort. So that means that despite playing familiar mini games that you might have seen beforehand, they'll switch it up a bit by now mixing in different character abilities into that problem. So
Can I play Ashley?
yes, you can play as
Good.
Ashley. She's on her
Good.
broomstick as he
And we
I
also
thought
have
it was- I-
multiplayer.
I thought he was gonna say no. If he did, I was like, then I don't care.
But no, it's coming out soon. WarioWare looks just as fun. It's coming
September
out this
10th.
year. Yeah, in September. So let's continue moving forward, though. I don't really have much
Because
to say
I'm
on
gonna be
WarioWare.
honest, I didn't really say like like you, KG. I wasn't really a Wario person, but oddly, Smash Brothers and the Ashley theme song. That's all I really care about now. I was like, I like her theme song. I don't know shit about her.
but like
but I love
Mona's
her theme
Pizza,
song.
though. Like, come on, you can't go wrong with the pizza.
I know, but I'm sorry, Ashley's theme song. Who's the greatest girl living in the haunted mansion? You better learn the name. That's awesome. I love that song.
And people love it too, man. It was so good to see that song come on to Smash. So what do you guys say? Shall we continue moving forward?
Yeah.
All right. According to the next title I see here. Now, listen, I'm excited for this, but I'm not really going to dive too much into it because Nintendo did a good job with talking about the game. Shin Megami Tensei 5.
5.
Now, this is the original game prior to, the spin-off that everybody knows of being of Persona. So, you have to thank the Shin Megami Tensei franchise for giving you guys your Personas. And what better way than paying respect to that than by supporting Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming out later this year in November. Finally, after many years of seeing this game get talked about. It's coming out to the Nintendo Switch later this year. So, I don't have much more to say. I'm excited. The gameplay that they showed looks great. I can't wait to collect them all. And can't wait to see how the story is going to unfold. Because it's such an interesting direction.
Gotta catch 'em all, Persona. I mean, Shin Megami Tensei
5.
5.
And that level of fun still continues on with the next title. It might not be big for many, but it really blew up on Twitter when they decided to tie a couple of names from Danganronpa with Smash Brothers. So yes, Danganronpa Decadence, which is, first of all, a really great name. I love that because it has like a mixture of the decade word in it, which, in case you do not know, Danganronpa is actually celebrating its 10th anniversary with this collection, which is going to be including the original 3 games as well as an enhanced gameplay for the final one, which I think was called, let me see if I can recall, Ultimate Summer Camp. That's going to be getting like an Ultimate Edition, if you could call it that. That will be introducing a lot more elements into that spin-off title as well. So overall, if you are a big Danganronpa fan, you are going to be very happy with this collection here. That's coming out later this year. Once again, another title coming out this year. Another good thing for Nintendo there as a whole. And this E3 presentation. Now, let's move on to the next one. Fatal Frame. A title that came out originally on Nintendo Wii U, meaning it's really becoming less and less appropriate to own a Wii U because everything is going to be coming out to the Nintendo Switch at this point. Why own a Wii U? Except just for collector's purposes, I guess. But Fatal Frame is not only going to be coming out to the Nintendo Switch, it's also going to be coming out to the Xbox as well as PlayStation, which is a very interesting thing to hear a Nintendo IP go to another company. Oh well, I don't really got much more to say other than
You can have an HD. For the Wii. For the Wii U at least. You can have something that can be on a capture without any like bullshit. Because I don't think you can capture shit on a Nintendo Wii.
No, you couldn't. That should have been obvious. Something they should have done, But I guess they didn't.
Yeah, like you got to go through some bullshit to do it and to get capture footage from a Wii. But it's a lot easier to just get a Wii U and play Wii games on it.
Mm-hmm. And also that with the Switch, with this one available, I wonder if more IPs from Fatal Frame are going to be coming to the Switch later down the
Yeah.
road. Maybe if this sells well, maybe we might see it.
What is Fatal Frame? Isn't it that game where you take pictures of shit?
Yeah, you take pictures of ghosts and all that of
Oh
spooky
yeah,
shit.
that lady was in Smash Brothers. I remember that.
The one that's the
That was-
assist trophy.
Yeah, that was weird. No, and then she takes the pictures of the shit. Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah, so yeah, that woman from the assist trophy in Smash Brothers finally got her own game in the form of
Got
Fatal
it.
Frame.
Cool.
So, there you go.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna be skipping a couple of other things that we don't really need to care about, such as Tony Hawk, Strange Brigade,
Uh-huh.
Doom Eternal, Ancient Gods Part 1, and Mario and Rabbids. We already talked about that before, so we don't really need to go further. The last couple of things we got to talk about: Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Never in my wildest dream did I would think I'd see the day when Advance Wars would come back in a way that it did. It is being worked on by 3 companies: Nintendo, Intelligent Systems, and Way Forward, the creators of Shantae. That threw me off guard, but it makes me pleasantly happy because I think Way Forward is doing an amazing job with this IP. I love the character design revamps that they did for these in this one, and it looks so cool. I really loved seeing that that this title is getting the love and treatment it deserves, and I hope that just similar to like what we were talking about before with Metroid, Advance Wars gets that same level of love as well. I want to see Advance Wars succeed. And you're not just getting only one game with it. Originally, when the trailer dropped, it made it look like as if you were getting only the first title. But no, you're getting also the second game as well. So you're getting both stories in one package, remastered from the ground up, and just all this good shit. So I cannot wait to see this game drop. That's coming out later this year in December. Once again, another title this year. So make sure to prepare your wallets for Nintendo content because it is just filled to the brim with that. All right, guys, we got one last thing to talk about before we get into tonight's discussion. And that is the Legend of Zelda series got its own segment. Beginning things off with the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass, which I believe dropped earlier last week, or late last week. So if you love Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, well, enjoy your expansion pass. I got not much more to say to that. I'm not really a big Hyrule Warriors fan. And I didn't really like how they took the story anyway. I'm kind of pissed off that they didn't go the way I hoped that they would have. If you see spoilers for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Then let's talk about the other thing that I find disappointing. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Now, the game itself, I'm not disappointed with. I'm more disappointed with the lack of new shit in it. Because other Legend of Zelda games before this one, when they got HD remakes or remasters, you know what they did with them? They included new shit to make things feel more better and flow more better. In Wind Waker, they fixed the boat so it actually goes faster than it would normally go in the traditional GameCube game when that came out. They actually tweaked things to make the game run faster, move faster, and just overall have a much more smoother experience with those IPs. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, there is really not much of anything that they changed with this game. They didn't tweak things up, and there is one big important thing that they did fix, but guess what? That's locked behind an amiibo.
That's stupid.
So, if you want to use a feature that should have been in the main title itself, you need the amiibo to make that shit work. So
That's stupid.
That's what I'm saying. This is honestly the most disappointing one out of this whole thing. It's stuck behind a paywall, so it's unfortunate, but it is how it is, man. So last thing we're going to be talking about, though, of course, the big thing, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We're in the skies now, boys. Where are we dropping, boys? I guess is the best way to say it. Now, here's the thing, though. They already have a title for this game, but they don't want to reveal it because apparently the title will give away spoilers to what this game really is. What the hell does that mean?
Breath of the Wild 2. Oh, shit, there's a 2 in it?
So, yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say on this.
It really made a sequel to Bread. Okay. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that to get this much of a reaction. Honestly,
So basic.
I know, but we have to talk about that one thing before we move on. Pants and Hat, we love those people.
Yes.
They dropped a new video. It's like when you get dominated at a subway.
You want to know what's
Featuring
funny about
Astolfo.
that?
Go on,
What's
go
so
on.
funny about that is because this all started when I watched the videos randomly at midnight, and I showed TSS and we binged it. And I believe they didn't make any new content for real after we watched their latest shit until now, except for the Batman thing. But
Yeah.
that was so far between. It almost feels like they're watching us, like they know.
Yeah, it's like if we don't bring it up, they'll be like, "All right, guys, let's get to work. Bring something up right
Yeah.
now."
It's almost like we brought them back to life in a way.
Nah, but if you actually follow their Patreon, which I do, you'll learn about a lot of the intricacies that they do with their modeling of it because
I mean,
they
yeah,
got
and stop motion takes time.
yeah,
Obviously.
they say it would take like about a month or two to create these things, and much love to Pants. Like literally, if you watch the Bionicle dude, he took his time to not only animate the Bionicle dude, but the wheels inside the dude's body.
Yeah.
Like that's the level of dedication right there. Legit, for real. I love Pants and Hats videos. It is so polished. It is so polished that it just baffles me just how good it is. And the one line deliveries is second to none, man. Like TS is bringing up the whole, oh, is there a sequel to Bread shit, which is just as good. And of course, if you watched Invincible, that ending of that recent video, though, you will know what I'm referring to if you watched Invincible. I won't spoil it, but you'll get an extra kick out of it. So that's all I got to say on that bit right there. Go watch Pants Ahead. Great content indeed.
Yeah.
And make sure to watch the Hippo Saga. Just want to reiterate, watch the Hippo Saga first before going anywhere further.
Yeah.
All right, then. So I don't really got much more to say. I think I'm good to go, buddies. And what about you guys? You're all good to go?
Well,
while we're-
before we do that, it's like we got to think about who won E3. It's Nintendo.
yeah, of course.
Nintendo came out winning on top. They legitimately did an amazing job.
And other
Listen,
news, grass is green.
now, no disrespect, by the way, to Microsoft. Because
They did a good
Microsoft
job.
did just as good as well. Here's what made Nintendo's different, though. Nintendo's, in my opinion, one of my favorite things about what they had in this presentation was that they made sure that the games that were coming out were for this year. You know, a lot of their IPs that you would expect are coming out this year. And they came out with a lot of surprises that weren't leaked. Unfortunately, one of Microsoft's big announcements got leaked, which was Starfield. Metroid Dread never got that leak whatsoever. You know, or Ubisoft's Mario and Plus Rabbids, that got leaked, you know. Nintendo was somehow fortunate enough to not get hit by them leaks, man. So I think Nintendo really did a better job. If you grew up in the era of the GameCube and the GBA, if you grew up at that part of your life in the childhood and you got the chance to play so many of those games back in that era, this is the direct for you. This is all for you guys. Like literally, you guys came out on top in this presentation. Advance Wars, Cruising Blast, WarioWare, Metroid. I mean, legitimately, they did an amazing job. You cannot deny that. It's an incredible feat that Nintendo came out here from this one. So that's all I gotta say on their part. I think Nintendo really did come out winning in this presentation. I will say second place, no doubt, is going to Microsoft. They did just as an amazing job. But you know what really made me appreciate Nintendo's even more as well? They didn't end it off via a CGI trailer like Microsoft did with their presentation about that weird Left 4 Dead but with vampire shit. So that's all I gotta say on it. Yeah, that's all on my end though. At the end of it all, video gamers, they all won. You guys have games for all different genres out there available for you. Whether you're a big fan of Tom Clancy, or maybe Marvel, or maybe Nintendo's IPs, like what you saw currently in their direct. I think everybody came out winning on top. Uh, so yeah, that's all I gotta say on this. And any final words from you guys regarding E3?
No.
Okie dokie. What about you, Tarn?
Nope.
Okay. So now, with all that out of the way, what do you guys say? Shall we get into tonight's discussion then?
Yay.
Okay, so
Before we jump into the anime, there's some Pokemon animated related news. Obviously, with again your boy Professor Silver. He did two things. He did the Umbreon, Gary's Umbreon, so just in time for Gary to show up again in the anime. So that's great. And he also did Ash's Pikachu Kanto version. Obviously, doing the entire history of Pikachu takes a long fucking time. So, to shave it down, he decided to section them off into doing Ash's Pikachu throughout different regions, and obviously he's going in chronological order. So he reviewed Ash's Pikachu in the Kanto region first. And then he'll review it, obviously, in Johto and Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and so on and so forth afterwards. So, yeah, make sure you check those two out if you want the complete history of Gary's Umbreon and Ash's Pikachu. I like that he put those both so close to each other, too. I don't know if that was intentional. But, yeah, you get Pikachu and Eevee. So, there you go.
all right. Well, I guess with that being said, anything else then?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, then, everybody. Now, let us take this opportunity for us to go jump right into tonight's episode of PM 2019, where we're going to be sharing our opinions on the latest episode of the show and talk about whether or not they did a pretty decent job with this episode, as well as talk about some of the new things that came included with this. So, I think, just to get this out of the way, let's go talk about some of the new things that came out from this episode. Beginning things off, Shiritori, at long last, is gone.
Yes.
And basically, we now got a sequel
I
to
actually like
Shiritori.
this song.
Yeah.
I actually like this song.
It's actually done by the same group, I believe, that was in the Shiritori song.
But there's actually more layer than that. So you have the Pokemon Kids 2019, but you also have the Computer Club, and also Junichi Masuda is actually doing vocals in this, backing vocals.
Really?
Yes, because if you look at where it says Uta in the song, it says the computer. It says the Computer Club, and then we have Junichi Masuda, and then Pokemon Kids 2019.
Huh, okay. I did not know that. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's so much information I knew little about from this upcoming, or not from this upcoming, but this new ending. But honestly, I really like this song, especially the little flute at the beginning. It's such a cute song. I love the theming of it.
Yeah, the beginning of it with all the arpeggios is kind of like first of all, it's kind of like YMO-esque along with some classical music influence. And also I'm a stickler for tracked music, but also the reverse bass drop. It kind of reminds me of if you took Yellow Magic Orchestra, which was like a Japanese like techno pop band in the 1970s and 80s, and you merge it with UK garage house from the early 2000s, the late 90s. That's the song you get, because you have the same kind of reverse the reverse electric bass, like inverted bass, that you hear on like UK garage house music. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, and it is really good. And now the only thing is, like, people are going to say, now there's a few things about that I want to also comment. First of all, we have a Marina Icolts in the freaking ending, so I know people love freaking her voice as the Dex, the Rotom Dex and shit. But also, what made it special for me too is the fact that we now have so first of all, and also if you listen closely, they go through like all the types and stuff. But I am expecting the people that run like the mad videos on freaking Nico Nico Doga to freaking make an edit where the girl says kusa, because if anybody has hung around any Japanese VTuber chats or freaking Nico Nico Doga videos, you know that that Kusa or like the leaf kanji is used to like say like lol. It's the Japanese equivalent of lol. So I'm expecting the mad people to go and make freaking crazy edits of that shit, and I'm expecting that in the next months or so. I can't wait for that.
Nice. Now I will say though the ending has a lot of meme wordy shit. I even did one Veneta earlier or late last week as well with the Greninja and Charizard one because it's like it's such a simple edit that people can do, and I really hope people take the opportunity to just poke fun at it as well because we did that with Shiritori. I mean, we could do it again with this song as well. So.
Musically, it's much more pleasing to listen to than Shiritori.
Oh my god,
I think what it,
so good.
I think what it really is also though is that the fact that we're done with Shiritori. That's really like because Shiritori. Let me make it clear: Shiritori isn't a terrible song. I think we've just heard it so long, we're sick of it.
Yeah, and it's also the same mons. It's not new mons every single week. It's just the version 1 and version 2. So, unfortunately, that also hinders it as well. I mean, when you have like 900 plus Pokemon and you're only using like the same 100, it doesn't help. It's welcome too much. So, yeah. Pose went for 60 episodes. Yeah, but at least that one got a vocal change within version 2 as well. And also had a lot of movie versions come in and occupy certain weekly moments. Like, what was it with the Power of Us song with Porno Graffiti? So,
yes.
So yeah, you know, stuff like that. But anything else I got to say on the ending? Grookey's a part of it, I guess. I guess they're really not gonna evolve this Grookey anytime soon. No. I guess Grookey's the new Pikachu for a go. So yeah, we'll see where the show continues on for these two Pokemon.
Also, folks, put this in the fucking record books. This is the first time that we have an eye catch that isn't a da-da-da or who's that Pokemon since BW62.
Eye catches.
I love.
Yeah, this is the first eye catch of a normal type.
Somebody made one. Somebody made an edit to the eye catch, so that made me wonder a lot. Somebody was like, I edited Grookey into the eye catch, and I was like, wait a minute, he was always in the and then I went back and looked at. Oh my god, he's not. What the fuck?
That Grookey ain't there in both versions, I think.
It weirded me. Yo, he's not, and I'm like, it weirded me out because I'm like, at this point, I thought he would be in it. So it weirded me out that it was one of those things that was so weird. I thought it was like the Berenstein Bears situation.
So basically,
I was like, it's all right. Oh,
so it took 9.5 years for the anime to get back into eye catches.
I'm surprised though. Why suddenly now is what I want to know.
Because they were getting sick of who's that Pokemon.
Well, I think it's less effort for them to do.
Yeah, because all they have to do is copy and paste, basically.
Well, it's a simpler animation that they could just use. Yeah, they could just use in the middle.
Yeah, it's so simple, actually. People are doing edits of the eye catch. Like, somebody did an edit where they actually added in Koharu into the mix as well.
Right, where's that? I want to see that.
Oh, you didn't see it? It was done by Legacy. Legacy did that. It's actually really
shit, let me get on this fucking
Okay, I'll go give you the link to that one. It's actually looking really nice. Like, I think you really enjoyed because of just how it feels complete, honestly. That it actually has Koharu in there, because why is she not there in the shot too?
Right, the Grookey one feels complete too. I'm like, what the fuck?
Here you go. There's the one right there, and it looks so good too.
It does. What the hell?
And it's such a simple edit. Like, really, you know, it's like this shit should have been obvious from the get go. Like, why is Koharu not there? She's starting to become more of a character, and it's like, nah, we're just gonna keep Go and Satoshi together. And I'm like, damn it. Oh well, but whatever. Eye catchers, they're back, baby, and if you enjoy them, you'll get a kick out of it. This is done by the user Legacy3211. So if you want to go and check out their content on Twitter,
I let the X and Y's go because they technically had eye catchers too. They were just at the episode title ones were basically kind of like theirs.
Yeah, but that's considered a title card.
Yeah, that's the Sun and Moon ones too.
Yeah,
you know?
But at the same time, like I let it pass on that one because at least they show like, oh, this episode's about Serena. Oh, this episode's about Clement. Oh, this episode's about.
But that's a title card variation. That's not the same as an eye catch. Eye catch is a mid-show bumper, which is a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm saying like it. I'm saying
Variation,
a nice little picture that shows off the cast.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that. Yes, from the title cards, that's what they did, right?
Mhm.
And also, I mean, Journeys is doing it with Meowth whenever Team Rocket episodes are there.
Well, it's
So,
also Sonansu, so.
yeah, so there you go. All right, moving along though. Anything else that was new? I don't think. Well, aside from the episode itself, of course, but I think that was really it. New music
Yeah.
as well, but we'll talk about that in the episode in itself. So, let's begin then. Why don't we?
Yay.
This episode, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I found it to be average at best. It wasn't anything
Yep.
supreme. It wasn't anything spectacular. But I will say it was a pretty run of the mill kind of episode, which is kind of a little weird to say for an episode that's supposed to be this big of a deal for Project Mew. So I wanted to bring up just some of my personal points that I wanted to talk about that I feel could have been handled a little bit better in this episode. And also talk about some of the positive aspects I enjoyed from it too. All right, so here's my big issue numero uno. And this isn't like something that should be difficult. It should have been something that should have been in this episode because of the concept that we're in. So, in this episode's theme is that an Alola Ninetales was taken via a Pokemon poacher, whatever they called it, just pretty much a thief. And they took it from Alola, and somehow it found its way into Sinnoh. Now, here's my thing, though. I hate how empty this mountain is. I hate that for a Pokemon world that we are supposed to be in, aside from Ash and Ghost Pokemon, where are all the Pokemon in this world? Because here's my thing. You know what would have made the theming of the Alola and Ninetales being so stuck and out of place would have made it better? Had we seen Pokemon that are naturally living in this area. Like, I would have loved to have seen the Snubbers. I would have loved to have seen the Abomasnows, the Swinubs, and their evolutions. And then you just see this one Alolan Ninetales just sort of sticking out there like a sore thumb. You know what I mean?
Hey, KG, now I have a mental clip in my head of two Snovers looking at each other going, the fuck's that? The fuck is that?
What's this four-legged freak doing in this land, damn it?
Y'all,
I
it
think
scared
it's
them all.
called a
It scared them
kitsune.
all away. It scared them all away.
The fuck is that? I think it's a kitsune. Something about Japanese lore.
It takes out a Pokedex. What is this, actually?
What is this thing?
It's Fox.
It's Fox. Where?
Yeah, okay. I mean, universally, KG, you just pointed out a problem that Pokemon always has a lot of.
No. This is
Weirdly,
a
a
Pokemon.
desolate a Pokemon that just doesn't show up unless because Pokemon's very much like it's a formula-ass show. That's one of the reasons why I said that we need a more mature Pokemon anime and people lost their fucking shit on Twitter.
Oh, don't worry. They probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very formulated show where like the character that needs to be introduced is introduced, the backdrop is introduced, and the only thing that appears is the things that need to show up. Yeah, we've had occasions where there's Pokemon in the background, but that usually is the lead into a plot like, oh, the Pokemon are attracted to the fresh water here or some bullshit. Like, it's always like that. Like, it's always like that. There's never just a naturally flourishing world. Name one time other than Pokemon The Power of Us where there's like a world in which there's a bunch of shit happening at once, much like in the vein of Weathering with You or A Silent Voice, where the world's still active even if the characters aren't on screen.
Dude, we literally just came out of Sun and Moon, which you never watched.
Sun and Moon was...
Listen, I can pinpoint all of the spots that have
but Sun and
nothing
Moon
to do with
Sun and Moon still had its formula. It still followed
it had its
Pokemon anime's
formula, but it knew what it was and what to include, because it also included all of wild Pokemon inhabiting that world that had nothing to do with those episodes, but it just made the world feel alive, like the Wimpods or the Poliwhirls just chilling by the pools, or say the water Pokemon within the beaches itself, the Pyukumukus just roaming around, the Pikipeks, and Kabashi.
Yeah,
like
actually, Donnie pointed it out. The school has no students outside of the main cast. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, they have that issue. They've had trainers there for some reason, but they're gone. It's odd on that part. But for the most part, like, I think from the Pokemon aspect, which is what I'm talking about, Sun and Moon took care of that shit 100%. Now, as for the students, that's a topic all on its own. I don't really want to go into the debate for that
Oh,
shit.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, but you understand what I mean. Like, I feel like a world is supposed to feel inhabited by these creatures that you're sort of putting the effort into creating the show for. And there's none of them in this episode. I would have loved to have seen snow Pokemon that are common in that region, that are supposed to be inhabiting that region. And then you see this Kitsunemon that you have over here just sticking out like a sore thumb because it's supposed to represent that this Pokemon was taken away from its natural habitat and lunged into another spot that's not supposed to be its own. So that's my issue. My big issue I have with this episode is that I hate how the only Pokemon that appear in this episode, aside from Ash and Goes, are mons that are supposed to be relevant to whatever's happening in this episode. So the Ninetales appeared in this episode, and the Regice appeared in this episode. We'll talk about Regice a little later, because I have issues with that too. So that's problem number one. Here's my second problem. I hate, and this doesn't apply to Pokemon, this is as a whole, I hate episodes that put you on the clock. I hate that there was a timer in this episode. The 6-hour bullshit.
Uh-huh.
I hate that. Because it makes you think, okay, so how long was Go and Ash looking for that Ninetales? How long was Go and Ash passed out? How long did it take for them to wait for the snowstorm to subside? And how long did it take them again to actually find out the Pokemon that was residing in this region, the Ninetales?
More than 6 hours.
Yeah. But, like, so why include the timer? I hate that was a thing. Like, that made no sense.
To give the episode false stakes.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes it didn't tell the timer wasn't told to them, but except I believe it was. It wasn't. It was like
beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, like
when the new character
Asahi.
Yeah,
Asahi super dry.
When Asahi told him they had 6 hours and then yeeted them off the plane.
Yeah, and that's when they took out their Pokemon to go and try to look for it. That's
basically the cold map from Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Also, why is Miss Drevis cold? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I love how you bring up Miss Drevis and not the Gengar as well.
Oh yeah, Gengar. I'm surprised I generally saw it. That's.
Hold on, let me try to play the episode and let me see what time they said about the 6-hour mark. All right, I think the audio is gonna probably play
Towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Just mute it.
Yeah, don't worry, I will. There we go. I'm gonna just try to play it out.
While he's doing that, I guess I'll talk about
just to explain. It is those two criticisms I have.
Obviously, yeah, they're looking for Suicune, and I mean not Suicune. Sorry, Suicune wasn't in this fucking episode.
No, it's
they're looking for
Ninetales.
Ninetales. Yeah, that actually would have made more sense. They're looking for Ninetales. And while they're looking for Ninetales, obviously they get trapped in a snowstorm. And the other new character, what's his name?
Tsurugi.
Wait, what?
Tsurugi.
Yeah, Tsurugi shows up and tells Go he's disqualified, which I thought was pretty fucking interesting, but they reel back on it. And at that point, he's basically telling him he's incompetent. He barely knows shit about Go, but whatever. And then after that, they finally get out. And when they get out, they finally meet the fucking Ninetales. And Go is basically saying, hey, Ninetales is angry because it believes we're like the poachers that attacked him. So Go pulls an Ash and does the whole, like, I'll put myself in the front lines in order to calm Suicune down. And Ash throws himself out because Regice is attacking too, apparently, because that's the only Pokemon in this area that exists.
Yeah,
And
just a reminder that technically Ninetales is not even a part of that natural habitat. So this entire mountain is owned by just Regice, basically.
yeah, Aerodactyl 2.0, which is fucking Suicune 2.0, which is fucking Absol 2.0, which is fucking this episode 2.0. Jesus Christ.
Also, I got to the moment, it says your time limit is 6 hours. So it says it right there before they actually begin their mission.
Yeah.
So there you go. The 6 hours mark was right there.
Yeah, and then Go obviously risked himself to get attacked by Ninetales, and Ninetales sees that he does that, and calms down. Go catches it. They get back to the base. The guy basically tells him, "Good job. You earned your token and you're part of the
Well, you're not
project."
really part of the club. It's like,
Yeah. It was just a test. Everything was just I hate everything was just a test. I hate that cliche. I'm sorry.
I hate that it's a test to
that
be
shit
taking the
pisses me
test, basically.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off. I hate that fucking lame ass plot point. But continue, KG. You can take over.
Okay, so just bringing this back up, I don't. Okay, so let's talk about the character whose name I keep forgetting all the time against the Regice, who brought out his Urshifu. I don't think that scene should have been in this episode, honestly.
Urshifu or Regice?
The Urshifu versus Regice bit. I feel like that could have been much more impactful at a later point. But like, I think what really caught me off guard with Urshifu is just it was just sort of there. That's it. Like, I didn't feel like, okay, you have a super powerful mon. When was the last time we've seen characters have super powerful mons before in the past that has left an impact? It's like I don't really feel anything for this man. Like, he's just been kind of like
and then he just
it's like I would have preferred had this had a bigger moment in an episode where it was focused with this guy, you know, like at the very beginning with Tsurugi or whatever you call him. I think it would have been made more sense at that point. Like, and also another interesting little tidbit. It's not really a criticism. It's just something I noticed. Normally, whenever a Pokemon gets scanned, they often would either do two routes. They would do route A, which would be just scan the Pokemon and leave it at that. You know, this one, however, took the second route where it's like I scanned the Mon, and also I'm gonna reveal the pre-evolution of this Mon as well. Which I thought was a little interesting because I was like, they just spoiled Kubfu, I guess, as well, which is a little odd, but okay. I feel like that could have been like a surprise later down the road, but alright, they want to show off the Kubfu for this one, so there you go. But yeah, for the most part, like I stated, I found this episode to be mid at best. I liked some of the things that they did. There are so many good things there. Like with Go's development, I enjoyed his moment. I like seeing the things with like Ash and Go using their mods to try to locate Pokemon, which kind of failed because there were no mods anywhere in sight. So it's kind of like a 50-50 score for that bit there. And then of course, you know, the theming of this, and also I guess we completely forgot to talk about him. Gary was in this episode, and I'm happy that they didn't put too much effort into him because it's like, he's doing his own shit, but I like that the anime is acknowledging that he's doing his own things. You know, it's like, listen, I got my own
and
mission.
also he's continuing his rivalry with Go.
No. His rivalry with what's his name? You mean? Because he doesn't even remember Go's name.
Yeah, he doesn't even remember.
I hate his rivalry with Go. I hate it so much. That's stupid. I'm sorry. I said it. I hate that. First of all, go get your own rival. Second of all, the new characters should have been his rivals. The fucking Tsugi, or whatever his name is, he should have been Go's rival. That's Go's rival, not Gary. That's Ash's old rival. Like it's very clear that's the direction it was supposed to go.
I have not much to say on that bit because honestly, yeah, I mean,
we
already had this discussion before, so yeah.
Yeah, they even show it off. The idea they should have went with was, you said it was Tsurugi, right?
Yes.
Tsurugi should have been like fighting Ninetales, but taking it too far. He's doing the job, but he's going at it wrong. He's going by force. Go hops in. And Go goes ahead and takes care of it like how Ash would do it. Caring about Ninetales. Not subduing him, caring about him. And that allows Tsurugi to go, he's reckless as shit, but he cares about the Pokemon, so I guess that method works too. It's not as effective as mine, but he found a way to get Ninetales and complete the mission, so I guess I gotta recognize Go's existence. That's a way better storyline. But no, this Journeys. Fuck it.
I mean, first of all, Chaser would fucking kill Go. Like they didn't want. That's probably why they didn't want to
That
do
Urshifu would have one punched Go at that point.
One punch, yeah, one punch, man. Plus, it's a single strike one, so he would have been.
Well, the rivalry isn't them fighting. I'm saying the rivalry is about ideologies of how to handle certain Pokemon when it comes to capturing them. Do you capture them with force? Or do you actually give a shit about these Pokemon? To Tsurugi, this is just a mission. To Go, this is one step closer to getting to the Pokemon that he dreamed of catching. Mew. Two ideologies going toward the exact same goal. Rivalry. Theming. Story writing. All right, I'm gone. You can take care.
All right.
All right.
No, it's just for me personally, and I'll pass it on to TSS in a minute. It's just for me. I can't really give much of an opinion on Tsurugi or Asahi at that point because they really didn't do anything in this episode besides getting the characters Go and Ash to begin their plot. Like, they told you who they are. They kept themselves vague. We don't even see any of Asahi Pokemon that she carries. We only see Tsurugi with the Urshifu at this point. There's so little.
No, Manula. Remember, he also has a Weavile.
Huh?
He also has the Weavile.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just referring to like the big. I guess like.
Yeah, but again, it's just saying you're saying.
Yeah, I should have rephrased that. I'm rephrasing to like the Pokemon that is the best way to say his signature mon. Like I assume his signature mon is that Urshifu is what I should say.
Yeah, Urshifu, of course. Yeah, but
so
that's not his only one.
I'm saying Asahi, we don't know any of those. And that's going to be a mystery in regards to that. And also the professor, the guy that's running the ship as well. Who only has the Mime Jr. So there's still a lot of mystery surrounding these characters. This episode really didn't focus on them. So I can only hope that whenever we see them again, it's actually more pushed towards their sides. Because now that Go's a part of the group, legitimately, thanks to this episode, let's see what this Project Mew thing is all about. Let's start exploring that concept more. Take an episode to just sort of break down what is Project Mew and all that. That's what I kind of want to see. So, like I said, I can't give much of an opinion on these characters in itself. I can only give an opinion really on the theme and route that they took with this episode, which I wasn't very favorable with a couple of things, like I talked about before, with like the missing Pokemon or just the stupid timer thing. I hate the timer so much, man. It always ticks me off whenever they do things. And I'm not just talking about with Pokemon. I want to reiterate that. It's never just with Pokemon. It's with just anime or shows in general that always put people on a clock, and it always makes you wonder, how the hell did they manage to do all this in under this certain amount of time when it doesn't feel like it's even plausible? So, especially when you find out Ash and Go fainted, you find out they waited for the storm to end, you find out that they were walking to locate Ninetales 2 times, and also, walk from one mountainside to the other mountainside. I'm pretty confident 6 hours at that point probably passed, so, but that's just my take on it. So, as a score, I said I gave it a 7 on the reaction when we did the episode. I'm still confident with that score, so I'm still keeping it a 7. Tyrone, we didn't get a chance to hear your rating for that. What was your rating for the episode?
So, my thing about this episode, at first, I said it a while back, where I actually really did kind of like this episode because it brought some good ideas and formatting to the table. The big jarring elephant in the room of this episode is when Tsurugi shows up, actually.
Really?
He's the problem with the episode, weirdly enough, because he's got a great concept and idea, but it's all after the fact, and he ruins some of his shit by falling back on otherwise a good formula. I liked the idea that Tsurugi is an experienced researcher at this point who does what he needs to do, but he's very cold about it. And I like that because it allows Go to realize, oh shit, all this catching I've been doing doesn't mean shit if I'm not competent. This guy out here is killing the game. But what he doesn't realize is that he needs to love these Pokemon. Much like I've learned how to love my Pokemon when I've been with Ash. I can use the skills from Ash in order to implement them into my care for the Pokemon I catch to become a better trainer. Here, we have a trainer who's already competent,
Mm.
That way, at least we get like a character development moment where Tsurugi has had several different times to see Go and realize, oh, never mind, thought he was incompetent. He actually is very competent. I've been the one that's lost my way since I've started. At first, this was all about the Pokemon. Now it's about completing the mission. But I've realized now that, oh shit, Pokemon come first. That's the whole point of this.
Do you think
But
they'll
they
bring
don't-
that concept in a later episode, though?
Nah, Pokemon's not gonna fucking do that. but
Oh, damn.
but it's an idea.
Yeah.
And I liked the idea because Tsurugi and what's the girl's name?
Asahi.
Asahi.
Super dry. Just
Yeah,
remember
those two characters, I actually liked the idea of their introduction is because they're Journey's exclusive characters and they're original new characters that allow us to like get a good concept of what they're capable of. But it's very clear that after Go's done what he needs to do, we probably won't see these two ever again, which sucks. And like that kind of ruins the ending of the episode falls apart. I think is where the problem is. The beginning was great, and then the ending comes, and I'm like, ah, shit. Well, it was alright when it lasted. I give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7, I guess.
All right, then.
All
TSS, without further ado, take it away, buddy. Now it's your turn.
All right, I looked at it at a completely different direction. So first of all, this continues with the Shigeru episode. So if you recall in the Shigeru episode, they recommend that Go try this out. So first of all, he wasn't even officially in this shit. So if you go from that specific perspective, this actually did exactly what it was supposed to do. So first of all, let's talk about the introduction to Asahi and Hodaka. I thought it was handled pretty well, all things considered. I mean, just to have Shigeru knocking around. I know that Tyrone doesn't like it, but I feel that it gives meat to the story that will continue on, and its actual freaking consistency with the series, which is therefore lacking. You know, it was lacking in the first fucking year and change for this series, so that's a great thing that they finally realized, oh, we actually have a freaking comprehensible story that we have to freaking be consistent about. Okay, great. First of all, seeing a manene for the first time in like fucking years, that's that's actually relevant. That's another great point. The whole explanation of how Tengan-zan or Mount Coronet, it's really cool. I like that they said, oh, it's a 3,500 meter peak. And then they drop them off, like I said, you know, making the freaking unintentional freaking Battlefield Bad Company 2 reference where you freaking jump out of the fucking airplane. I like that. I like that part. 6-hour time limit is not too impossible, but there's a reason that I could see why it can become misconstrued. Because once they find the Alolan Ninetales, it then uses Blizzard, which knocks everybody out. And to consider that now, if it was more than a few hours, the sun angle would have obviously changed in the sky. So probably wasn't as long as you thought that Satoshi and Go were knocked out. Also, if you wanted, actually, I did like Tsurugi's character, but not necessarily because of his introduction, but because of Hiroshi Kamiya. And after hearing his vocal performance in this episode, he is basically like if Saiki Kusuo was freaking more cocky. And I loved that. It was exactly what I wanted to see in a vocal performance. And I knew from the preview, from the original preview a few weeks back, and I said, wow, that's a Saiki Kusuo voice. And I was like, yes. Yeah, and you know what? Pokemon does these kind of things where they might introduce a character like abruptly like this, which is fine. I mean, what do you want to do? Have it all resolved in one episode? No, they're actually taking steps to actually do something with a freaking story. So in that respect, it's fine. Now the whole Regice thing, I could give two shits about. It was just an excuse for him to get distracted while Go deals with the Ninetales. Now, first of all, Alolan Ninetales looking pissed off like that, I like that. I mean, it's cool just to see, as you normally see, like Alolan Ninetales that we've seen in freaking Sun and Moon. It was all like cute and nice, and all of a sudden, this one you just see he wants to fucking bite your fucking head off.
Which is funny because I think I forgot, but I think Alolan Ninetales is an a-hole in the Pokedex entry. If I recall,
yeah, its whole mission is to get people to leave.
Yeah, but in the series proper, we never saw that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that they're finally paying respect to the Pokedex entry.
Yeah, they're actually doing something with that.
I just love how it's like tells them to just go away.
Also another positive with this is that now we have Satoshi as Go's wingman, and yeah, some people will take the whole what is good against fairy types thing as kind of like but Go doesn't know shit. No, it's proof that you have him as his right-hand man. It's a proof of them working together. Go's going to be the main guy in this arc, and Satoshi's going to be the side man, which we desperately fucking need because, we need to have Go finally taking the fucking upper hand on some shit after being treated like shit.
So hold on, because I'm going to stop you there, because they've done that formula a lot of times with Go, actually. I remember the inconsistencies we've had with Go, actually.
Yes.
The inconsistency we had with him actually happened in... most recently was noticeable in the Gary stuff, where he couldn't hold his own against Moltres, but could beat the shit out of a Zapdos, right?
Right.
And then when Ash was depressed and Flygon was causing shit, and he could beat Flygon's ass.
Yeah.
Go's consistent and good when the story needs him to be good. That let's point that out, because normally Pokemon does this formula where Ash's like side character is the one that knows all the type matchups. For the OG series, it was Brock and Tracy. For AG, it was Brock and Max. For fucking Diamond and Pearl, it was Brock again. For Best Wishes, it was mostly Silent. Silent.
Mostly.
And then in X and Y, it was Clement. And yeah, it was mostly Clement. It was just Clement, actually. And then I don't think they had one in Sun and Moon. Maybe.
Sun and Moon was the road. It was the smartphone. No, it was the Rotom Dex.
Oh, the Rotom Dex. Yeah.
It was the Rotom Dex. It was his right hand man.
So I guess you can, and Kiawe kind of.
Yeah.
So then here we have a situation where Go doesn't know a type matchup, but Ash does know one. Which is odd, considering that Go seems to be more book smarts than Ash is, where Ash is more like street smarts and like adventure smarts. But you can argue that Ash has been on a journey for a bit,
Yes.
A
So,
bit.
so
Bit, yeah.
so either way, I guess you can let it pass. It's just weird to me that Go wouldn't know that
Mhm.
particular thing. I
Yeah.
mean, remember in the summer camp stuff that he did with Professor Oak, he wouldn't shut the fuck up about how much knowledge he
Yeah.
knew about Pokemon.
Yeah, but he didn't
Now
know
suddenly
about
he doesn't
Lola.
know this,
Yeah, but he doesn't know about
but he
Lola.
does know types.
Mm,
Like Go
yeah.
knows types. He wouldn't, like I said, he wouldn't shut up about Pokedex entries. So I'm sure he knows what types are because they're in Pokedexes.
Probably just wanted. They probably
yeah,
just wanted to do that for the kiddies.
yeah. Regardless, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say the whole bonding to get the thing. Now we've always said, we've always asked the question, a few weeks back when we got the titles, like, what the fuck is an Alolan Vulpix doing in freaking Mount Coronet? And it's like, oh yeah, okay, poachers, okay, that's why he wants to fucking bite your head off. Okay, from a conceptual standpoint, that makes total sense.
Yes.
Okay, now yeah, they had to ham it up a little bit with the whole Go bonding thing, but I think that's one of the things that they actually try to be consistent about. I know about the Suicune one, people have freaking bad vibes about that shit and other things like that, but at least they're actually sticking with that concept instead of like throwing it in the fucking garbage. So I give them that credit. Was it the best? Was it the best thing? No, but it proves that they actually have consistency now. So I'll give that to them. The whole
Let's
ending,
say
the
they
whole
have consistency after one episode.
No, they've had it for a couple of episodes prior.
they've had no, they've actually though they actually had it since the direction change. So I mean, they've, like I said, you got to look at it. I look at it from that point forward, and they actually are doing a decent job in that. So that's why I look at things differently like that. So at the end of the episode, I know it was the whole thing about being a test, but like I said, if you go back to the Gary episode, and technically Go wasn't even in Project Mew, it was just recommended to be, and this was the first true test. If you look at it that way, it succeeded. But of course, if you don't look at it like that, of course it's going to be like out of place. So and then you just see Tsugi said, asking the question like, are you going to be in it or you're not? And Go mans up and he makes a decision. He wants to do it, and then finally gets to the point where, okay, now we can get this ball rolling, and we already are going to see more things with Project Mew in the very near future.
Yes.
So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that. So overall, this episode gets an 8.7.
All right. Well, I guess that just shows everybody has once again, their own respective opinions. At the end of the
Yes.
day, we all have different viewpoints on how we
Yeah,
approach an episode.
yeah, and you guys and everybody here is right. Like I said, everybody looks at things differently, and that's
Yeah.
what makes the world go round.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem, and this KG's brought this problem up a lot of times in Journeys. The biggest problem here was that they tried to cram too much in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like you could have removed the Regice bit, because
Yeah,
even you
yeah,
said
that
TSS
was-
you
yeah,
didn't even
Regice,
like
yeah.
that.
I feel like this one mission should have been about 2 episodes long. It's
For
a mission.
a test before the test, I don't know,
Because literally right after this we get what? What episode did we get that I scrambled up with Team Rocket episode? Ooh, like we could have done 2 episodes of this. It's 6 hours. It's a nice little saga. That's a nice little arc. Call it the Mount Coronet arc or some shit. Yeah, that would have been nice, but nah. Oh yeah, they're wearing their DLC Crown Tundra outfits.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice little touch there.
Yeah,
Also, Grookey coming out of the coat was nice.
Yeah,
I
kind
like
of. It gave me Togepi vibes whenever he went back inside like the
Yes.
jacket, and you don't even see his body anywhere inside Ghost jacket. It's like, where is
Yeah.
he sitting at? This Pokemon.
Cold boys right there.
But yeah, so I'm just happy that this episode, it has its flaws, but I want to see if the next time we come back and revisit this again, they enhance it better. Because like I told
Yes.
you, the
Oh, we're
Pokemon.
putting this in the wait and see pile too. This place is getting full.
Dude, I know. Listen, man, it's journeys. What do you want me to
Oh,
do?
one more thing in the wait and see pile. I think it's gonna break the door open.
It already broke a while ago. We're just still piling up on
Oh,
it,
we're
man.
just piling shit up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, essentially, it has become the Indian Express train at this point. There's no fucking doors. There's no doors, and there's Pokemon sitting on fucking beach chairs on top of the train while it's moving.
Zapdos, so you in there? We're gonna come back to you, buddy. I swear to God.
Yeah, I just gotta remember where I left my Suicune at. Where
Exactly.
is it?
Yeah, like any more Mewtwo? You in there?
Also, before I forget though, little nod with the Regice, because people might be thrown off by the fact that it's just sort of there. But in a way, if you played Platinum, you'll know Regice resides in that area via one of the stages. So I mean, it's not that awkward that Regice is here, because it does follow the game's logic in a way to where it would be. Although it's just kind of funny just thinking that there's just a giant ass rock just walking around the mountains. And I just
scared the shit out of everybody.
I'm not gonna lie, I know the scene was supposed to be intense as hell, but I laughed my ass off when I just saw Tsurugi ask his Urshifu to just one punch the rock, and it's just like, keep your ass there. I'm coming for you later. You better not move your fucking face when I come back. It's like Jesus Christ, man, you punched a freaking thing like that. Why'd you do that to poor Regice like that?
but Urshifu is just like freaking like fucking strong as fuck. Is like just one punch is all it took to fucking bash that fucking.
And I think we gotta talk about this because it was a pretty hot topic when I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, what is it though?
We gotta talk about Regice and Pikachu.
Okay, so here's my thing though. I don't get it.
You don't get what, the controversy, or you don't get like Ash?
I don't understand why there was a controversy to begin with, because technically
Ash's Pikachu beat the shit out of a Regice the last time we saw it.
But dude, the Pikachu. Okay, look, if you go and rewatch this episode again, this is why I'm bringing it up. When you rewatch this episode again, Pikachu didn't get knocked out. He didn't have the swirly eyes. He just landed on Ash.
He got knocked out. Yeah, he just got knocked back.
Yeah, he just got knocked back. But you never saw the continue.
I'm more disappointed that fight was off screen.
No, but because it wasn't the focus, that's the issue. But which does add more to the question of why it was here to begin with, then,
Yeah, but I like that idea. If you're gonna bring Regice in there, I like the idea that there's a dual battle happening. I always like dual battles. That's probably why too. Like battles where two things are happening at once. It makes the environment feel like it's more center focused. It makes it less center focused. And it makes the world feel like it's breathing. Oh shit, that battle's happening while this battle's happening. We can cut to this.
I love how you're talking about this world breathing, and yet there are only 2 Mons in this mountain.
I know. Yeah, I know.
This Alolan Ninetales wanted to beat the shit out of all the other Pokemon, so it fucking blizzard the fuck out of them, and then he went away.
Yeah, okay. So let me talk about battle choreography in anime and why I like the story that battles tell, even though people won't know if it's tell. Battles tell just as much of a story as dialogue and character interaction and character development. They tell a story too. I like in battles, if there's 2 battles happening at once, you can have certain actions happen, and if Go's losing a fight, we can cut to Ash, and he's losing a fight, then Ash notices something or turns the fight around, then we switch back to Go, then he comes to a realization and both get resolved at the same time, thus bringing both plot lines together. That's how a formulated, righted story can be if done correctly. But we don't get that. We get Pikachu getting knocked back, and at that point, the guy's like, move over, I got this. Yeah, Pikachu didn't lose the fight, obviously. So I don't know why, like KG, I don't know why it's a big controversy. I think it's another one of those Pikachu strength is inconsistent bullshits, like with Snivy.
But it's not even inconsistent, because if you look at the original Brandon versus Ash fight, you know how that went down? Pikachu didn't one-shot that shit. Pikachu struggled to fight it, which makes me question, did people really remember the Battle Frontier fight? Or
did they not.
Remember?
They didn't.
They only remembered the win, but they didn't remember how the fight went down.
I think they wanted to see Pikachu.
Because they don't watch fucking AG.
Well, let me try to answer that, because I think what they wanted is for Pikachu to beat the Regice much like it did in AG. They want that moment back. So to see it in reverse and Pikachu not getting the upper hand kind of pissed some people off, I'm guessing. I don't know. I didn't give a shit enough about that fight anyway, but because like KG said, it wasn't the focus. But if it is gonna be there, if you're gonna go out of your way to show it, then Pikachu getting knocked back like that, I guess, would ruffle some feathers. I guess.
Yeah, except it didn't ruffle the feathers. It shook the goddamn wings and made them lose
Well,
their altitude and go down
we
skyrocket.
we know why Pikachu ends up losing the upper hand in that fight. He doesn't lose it, but he loses the upper hand.
Yeah.
Pikachu has to get knocked back so that Tsurugi can come in with Urshifu to show off the DLC mine. That's why it happened. It happened because Tsurugi needs an opponent to overpower so that we know the strength of Tsurugi.
Yeah, there is an interesting little thing at the end that they brought up in the episode that confuses me, but also makes me think if this has anything to do with Regis in the future. Because they said something about, like, oh, how he had to come back. Remember how I was making that joke at the beginning? It's like, oh, I'm coming back for your ass later down the road.
Yeah, just sit and behave. You beat the shit out of it. And no, it's going to leave.
Yeah, why don't you just throw a Pokeball at this point? No? Okay.
Because the show doesn't want to show that off.
Hey, go, there's a dead rock over there. You want to catch it? No? Okay. You only have one Pokeball? What? You know.
Because the show wants to put that in the wait and see pile with everything else.
And then that's going to be handled off screen or something. I don't know. I'd be laughing my ass off if, like, 10 episodes later we come back and we see Tsurugi walk into the Regis and he's still sitting in that same spot. Like, oh my god. But nah. So yeah, like I said before, I don't understand this controversy. It's so stupid.
I think people really just liked AG when Pikachu.
No, they're fake AG fans because if they saw the Battle Frontier fight, they'll remember in that fight Pikachu wasn't one-siding that Regis. It was a equal battle between the two. Hell, even Pikachu got frozen in that fight before breaking out of
frozen today.
So it's people don't remember that fight. They're just wanting to see Pikachu just do something that they want Pikachu to beat the shit out of the Regis to show that it can beat Regis like it did last time. Yeah. But it's like that's not even the focus to begin with, so it's like
fucking 15 years ago, be fucking
realistic. Yeah, so that it doesn't, like, the concept or the controversy doesn't trigger me as bad. What triggers me are those that are saying I was a fan of it and I know clearly what I'm talking about kind of situation.
Yeah, the bullshit meter is off the charts.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, coming from a person who's a Dragon Ball fan, I know what it is. Power scaling. I mean, it's power scaling.
You love Super, so I mean, you know that better than anyone.
Fuck you. It's just power scaling. This is the same. Well, welcome to the club, y'all. Welcome to the club. You get a free T-shirt. But it's literally just power scaling. It's Pikachu did this before, so it should be able to do this again. That's where
and it's like no.
And I'm like, Pokemon has continuously shown that there's several different factors that can be placed into account when it comes to that. Obviously, the conditions here were dramatically different. Pikachu was fighting Regis, but Pikachu was fighting a Regis that's not like... First of all, Pikachu was fighting a Regis in the field, and we don't know how many hits Pikachu got hit with from Regis. That could have just been the one Ice Beam that knocked Pikachu back.
Which isn't even the Ice Beam that hit it. It was just the damage between it and the Thunderbolt. It was like the pressure wind that pushed it back.
Yeah,
which makes sense because that shit is common in the anime. So it's like, watch the scene again.
Yeah, because you have two opposing forces, and then you have fucking full brunt of two things coming right at you. It's not like it's just one fucking beam. It's like double.
Exactly. It's like, it's just the way, as TSS mentioned, when two attacks collide, it creates a pressure which pushes both opponents away. We've seen it in the anime. We've seen it in the Shinji versus Ash fight. I mean, that's like one of the most iconic moments there with the tornado.
Yes.
Like, it's shit like this. It's common shit in the anime. I understand people are saying, oh, it fought against the Regis before, but guys, look clearly. If it doesn't have the swirlies on its eye, or if it's just straight up
locked out.
It's not knocked out. I know it has happened before, but Pikachu clearly could still fight. Tsurugi just decided to butt in and interfere. So if anyone should to be blamed, blame it on this dude for jumping into a fight that he shouldn't have gone into and be like, nah, I think it should have just been Ash and Pikachu or something else, or at least wait until it got knocked out and then come in. So it's just in my head, it's just like, I don't understand this controversy. It's just pointless. It doesn't do anything but just stirs up more drama from everybody on a pointless thing that Didn't
That
need to be there.
lasted fucking what, 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Like,
Listen, if Tyrone, and TSS here in the call, just straight up called the Regis scene bullshit, while we do understand it's going to be brought up at a later point, but like that scene in itself
Yes.
wasn't the main focus, so we could just brush it to the
No.
side, aside
Yeah.
from whatever DNA shit is going to happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so. The
I
TSS
mean, and even myself, because I'll call out myself. I talked earlier about Reboot being able to fight off against Zapdos, but Cinderace losing to Moltres. But there, I'm talking about not the Pokemon that they're fighting, but the Pokemon that is fighting. That being Reboot to Cinderace. Reboot evolving obviously means it has to get stronger. It, in and of itself, evolved into a stronger version of itself, and thus its performance should be better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very justifiable that in that fight it should perform better against Moltres, who's seemingly around the same strength as Zapdos, weakened or not. Whereas here we have a situation where people are stating that Pikachu should be able to fight off against Regis, but here the fight doesn't even come to a conclusion.
Yeah, it got
Pikachu
interrupted
doesn't
by
get the
another
chance
opponent.
to finish that fight.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I think the problem is that people remember that the last time Pikachu fought a Regis, it beat its ass.
Not
It
like
wasn't,
the actual.
It wasn't completely one-sided, but it won the fight.
Yeah. I think people cared about the win rather than what led to the win.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all I got to say on that. There's not much more I can contribute to that. It's, as we stated before, controversy is a controversy. At the end of the day, though, it's always important. Listen, everybody has opinions. Everybody has their own personal viewpoints. And that's just how things are, man. You know, never be afraid to kind of share that kind of opinion. But just know that if you have to also share an opinion with looking at something with all the details correct. You know, when you're going to talk about something, at least make sure you have at least 99% of that shit correct when you're going to bring it up. You know, if you just only care about one aspect and don't care about the other part of it, people are going to bring up that other part. So, you know, it's always important to make sure you're going in with the right mindset and just with all the info correct in your hands. So that's all I gotta say on it. This week in general, when I just looking on social media, it's just been nothing but that of opinions like going at it each other, you know, throat, and I'm like, guys, it's a show. Come on, let's just be real.
I mean, like you could be doing more productive things with your life. You know, learn a language, make art, do videos, do something productive, not just freaking like yell at somebody's Twitter because they don't agree with you.
Exactly.
It's like imagine all the energy that people waste, and then you could use that energy for something positive instead of freaking trying to
use
be
that
like
frustration and make art.
As a person who breaks down and reviews and analyze things, I have nothing against a nice healthy debate. Yeah, a nice healthy debate, if backed up by facts. And if you are able to put up an argument without calling someone fucking stupid or gay or whatever the fuck the kids call themselves. The point being here is that when you bring up a debate or you bring up something, I typically do this a lot. I always try to make sure whatever source I'm bringing up my example from is from the show its goddamn self. Every time I brought up something, whether it disagree or agree, I've always made sure that the source material is the thing that shows off the example, and I back it up with that. That way no one can ever say, oh, you made that up, or you're talking out of your ass. No, I'm not. I'm talking about what I just fucking saw.
You know, I just want to add
wrong
on.
with that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know what else I find funny thinking about it?
What?
All the people that are probably complaining about this Regis bullshit are probably the same people who keep complaining about us comparing series.
Probably.
So just think about that for a second. Oh God, I love Twitter so much.
Entertainment
Indeed. So I think with that being done and out of the way, what more can we say? Games.
Yeah. I will say
no. It's a Microsoft thing. Gaming.
I will say Journeys does, unfortunately, no matter how good this episode was or bad it was, they unfortunately do this thing I really hate, where they do an interesting episode and then we go back to bullshit.
Yeah. That's just
Because
how
the next
things are.
episode is bullshit. I'm sorry. I know what it is, but they've done this so many times already. How many times have we gotten like the ashes scrambled up with Team Rocket? And
In every
like,
series.
Every series.
yeah, I hate that.
There's always got to be one every series, man. It's just how it is.
Yeah,
Or
I
multiple
hate
every
that plot.
series.
Yeah, they're doing the Ash's friends and Team Rocket have been scrambled. Like, ugh.
It's Clang's
That
debut
bullshit.
after 11 years.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I have nothing against silly ass episodes or even fillery episodes at some point. But right now we're in the middle of the Project Mute thing was like a big moment for Go's character development and the plot of Journeys. And now we're dropping it so that we can do the Ash and Team Rocket are scrambled, ooh, like that bullshit. It's just such a nut kicker. I hate it.
And it
They
feels,
did
yeah,
it.
And what's funny is watch it be relevant, and then they'll get rid of you
I mean,
completely.
even then they did it again with fucking what was the recent episode? They did it recently with fucking well, what episodes did we have before this one? Before this one was more Pecco. What was the one before that?
It was the errand one.
well, what about the nurse or Officer Jenny episode?
Well, yeah, but that was the one before that.
Oh shit! What was before the officer? The errand episode, the one where they did the errands.
It was that was the Gary episode.
All right, see, there we go. We got the Gary episode. Literally, honestly, I think the Gary episode should have happened, and then right after that, this should happen. Like these two should have been a saga. This whole thing should have just been an arc, honestly.
It is. You know what this arc reminds me of?
But this arc is broken. It's like got broken shit in it.
This arc reminds me of the Poiple arc, honestly.
Yeah.
Where it's like we introduced a concept, but not every episode is going to be this sort of thing. It's just gonna happen eventually as time passes on. I will say though, it's gonna be. I'll give more of an opinion on this arc as a whole when we get.
Like I said, I think like Mount Coronet and ending it, or not even just the Mount Coronet stuff. Like, no, yeah, I guess Mount Coronet's fine. Having the Gary episode, then have like the Mount Coronet stuff be 2 episodes, having a nice 3-episode arc, and then capping it off would have been fine because then we would have got a series of seriousness, and then we got some playful shit. Then we jump back to serious shit within the next 3 or 4 episodes, like just storyboard formation. That would have been fine, but to break it up in between feels weirdly disjointed. There's a lot of episodes and Journeys we've stated feel like they're out of order. And someone will go out of their way on the internet and be like, I placed these episodes in order.
Yeah, well, that's why the filler list exists, you know?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the problem is some of the episodes that we think are filler are actually plot.
I mean, even when they're plot, I feel like the plot points of those can be moved around a little bit.
I suppose.
Yeah.
At least, I would say though, it's become at least you could go more in order in the last, like I said, I would say about last 15 episodes or so. Once they actually realize, oh wait, we have to change shit together. Oops.
And I'm trying to use an example that's not XY, so people could be like, oh, XY bias.
Okay, what are you trying to bring up? Unless I can help you.
Oh, remember, I'll use OG. OG actually did it. OG did a little thing like this. Remember in OG after Ash had beat Lieutenant Surge, what'd they do? They went to the St. Anne. After they went to the St. Anne, Team Rocket took over the entire St. Anne. After that, they had to fight their way through the fucking St. Anne while it was tilted underwater. After they did that, they went to the Island of Giant Pokemon. After that, we are done with that arc, with that little mini arc. And we get to like a generic beach episode or whatever. And then we move on forward with our lives.
The
St. Anne arc was an arc. It was a poll, but you know what I mean.
Was there something in mind, TSS?
No, actually, everything up until the Ghosts of Maiden's Peak are actually connected all together. If you actually put them all in order. No, if you put the St. Anne until Ghosts of Maiden's Peak, it's actually all in order. It's actually all in order.
It all follows like that summer beach-esque island theme. Like, and it all comes, and it's nice, and that's all like a cohesive plot. Ash and them wind up on that island with the ghost of Maiden's Peak. How did they wind up there? They wound up there because of the island of giant Pokemon. What caused that? When the ship crashed after the whole St. Anne incident, when they got whirled up by the Gyarados. Well, what happened before that? The ship was underwater, and they were underwater. What happened before that? They went aboard the St. Anne. Like, all of that stuff happens cohesively. Then we get a break. Then we move on to other shit. Like,
so basically, an arc is what a mini arc.
That's a story written like series of events. But Journeys, unfortunately, they do this thing where it's like, we got pieces of this, then we'll break it up with this weird filler episode of fucking Grookey and Eevee doing errands, and then we'll put in more plot, and then we'll have it's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, a lot. Well, I mean, most series always have an arc. It's just that you got to remember, Journeys has.
Well,
at
just
least
be glad.
one,
Just be glad that we don't have an anime where it's a complete filler arc.
Good God, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just be
I
thankful
feel like
that we're
Diamond and
not.
Pearl had a little bit of a filler arc.
I mean,
Yes,
literally,
well,
the joke
yes.
was the fourth year, man.
Yeah, the Ash's 8th badge. Yeah, that.
Well, yeah, and also the 20 episode gap, like the 15 episode gap between freaking plot, that was stupid too.
And also
Right.
DA and Best Wishes. Let's not forget that too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Da is a straight filler arc.
Oh
and
God,
there's
yeah,
a-
that.
Yeah. But yeah, like series always did this, where it's like we move from one plot point to another. I mean, if you want to not go to X and Y, you can go to Sun and Moon. They've had it like plenty of that. Remember the episode when what was it? When our girl from Akala, I believe it was, showed up. I forgot her name.
Oh,
Lychee.
yeah.
She appears and then she takes
Lychee,
the
yeah.
students over to the island, and then they have their own island events go down there before heading back home. And, you know, stuff like that. Like, they have things like this throughout the series. It's just more so, I think the issue is that we've been missing those kind of moments. The last time we got something like as significant as that, I'd like to think off the top of my head, was probably the Sword and Shield arc. Because they made it a significant deal by titling them Sword and Shield 1.
Oh yeah,
Sword and Shield 2.
that was openly called the Sword and
Yeah,
Shield
so they
arc.
knew that was an arc, you know. But, like, when was the last time we had
That angers me more because that means they know how to do it.
And the funny thing is, if we're not including the Sword and Shield arc, you want to know what the other one was that I found hilarious?
Right.
The stupid food episode when Go's Pokemon won, and then the following episode actually focused on them going to Unova to eat the ice cream stuff because he won the contest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like stuff like that. It happened in this
So
series
you
itself.
know how to do it. Then why are you fucking me, huh? Why?
Is the ref remaining?
Why are you doing this? To piss me off, Jeff?
Oh my god.
Uh,
We love
But,
Pokemon,
yeah.
guys. You might not know it, but we do love Pokemon.
yeah, Jesus Christ.
We eat, breathe, and sleep
I
this shit.
promised these guys I was gonna stick through it because I owe them after the Sun and Moon thing. Which I will say,
I'm
I
so
went
mad
back,
that you did that for Sun and Moon, man.
Hold on, I went back on the PokePod for the Sun and Moon ones for the episodes I missed. I still at least had comments. I had fucking comments and opinions because TSS gave a very descriptive summary of every episode.
Yeah, but there's a
Yeah.
difference between hearing it from another person and then actually seeing the visuals accompany
And I went
the
back to
actual
watch.
stuff.
I went back to watch a few of the ones because I'm still trying to get through that. TSS's description was very like pinpoint, only because Sun and Moon doesn't give enough to like.
Yeah, to
have
do
me
an
go,
actual review
Yeah.
of a video itself. It's more.
not enough for me to go, shit, TSS missed something. That was the reason I stopped reviewing the damn series. I stopped reviewing it because it was weird to review it. I'd be like, so the episode began with this, and then there was some jokes.
Sadashi inhaling another 5 lines of cocaine and decided to leave the house.
Sniff.
Like-
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I promised I would fight through this. That way I can at least be like, I did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
There's no real victory in doing it, but at least it allows me to be more engaged in the pod conversation.
I love how you say fighting through it like it's a bad thing.
What? What?
No, you made it sound like I gotta fight through it. Like, oh, you gotta go through this whole shit myself. Like,
Have you not watched the same show I've been watching?
No, I'm just saying. You make it like whenever you say I gotta. Well, not just you. I mean, in general, when somebody says I have to fight through it, it makes it sound like as if they're just not enthusiastic to go through the series. It's more like it's an obligation that they have to
Oh
do.
no, I've been very much procrastinating to watch Journey's episodes every weekend.
Yeah.
And speaking of watching series, that means Tyrone, since Nagatoro-san is ending this week, you got to fucking catch up. 11
I'm gonna
episodes.
binge
Let's
it.
fucking go.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
Let's
binging
just
go.
say the president got a day one patch in the recent episode with her physique. Let's just say that. Have you seen that episode, bro? I don't know. I feel like.
I mean, no, she has the bazoom, you know, the
Yeah,
good.
I'm just saying she got patched in this one. She didn't get nerfed, but she was faithful in her manga design when she debuted in that one, and then they changed her up in the next episode.
Yeah, but then again though, the only issue now is that her arc is ending as soon as it begins.
You're like, God damn, I wanted more, man. Somebody said it best. They added volume to her character. All right. What do you guys say we wrap things up then for tonight?
Let's go.
All right. It's already past 12 o'clock. I'm surprised the three of us alone managed to go far and beyond with this week's episode, but I guess that just shows you how much we had to talk about.
E3. Yeah, I was going to say E3 was in there too.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's discussion, ladies and gents. Whether it be E3 stuff or whether it be this week's episode of PM 2019, we hope you guys had a good time with it. Things are going to be playing out within the next couple of days. I know tomorrow Tyrone's going to be doing his X and Y run, so make sure to tune in on Tyrone's channel for that as well. For Reaction Night, as you guys already know, we'll be doing reactions every Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this channel. So if you want to go and watch the latest episode of PM 2019 with me, make sure to go and tune in then. TSS, I believe you will also be having a stream on Friday as well, correct?
Yes, that's right. We're going to be doing part 4 of Persona 3 Fest, the undub edition, and having so much fun with that. Last part, we kind of got fucked on the first, heading to the first boss. But this time we're going to get through it. I'm not sure if I'm going to have an extended stream this week. Last week was only because the Greek festival in the neighborhood was last week, and I had to start half an hour early, and I said, fuck it, 3.5 hours. But expect at least a 3-hour stream, 9 p.m. Eastern, on my channel, TS_Killer on Twitch.
All right, perfect. So
Thank you,
KG
Dominic,
Fruits
yeah.
Basket ends next week. I know. And I'm sad. Listen, I'm very happy that story's finally getting a proper anime ending when it didn't get one back when it first released many, many years back. So that story's finally getting the conclusion it rightfully deserves. But now it's time for us to go and call it a night. Everybody, we hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session of the PokePod World Podcast. And if you did, make sure to follow us still here on this channel. And make sure to follow us on our Twitter as well, which should be in the description down below. So make sure to tune in for then. Everybody here in this call, TSS and Tyrone, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we are approaching the big numero 100 really, really soon. So we got a lot to talk about within those next 2 weeks. And we hope you guys are just as excited as we are to reveal all the cool little shit I got in store for us. So hope you guys have a good night, good evening, good afternoon, all that good shit. I don't know what day or time it is for you guys now, but I only just can hope that you guys have yourselves a good one. And TSS, what is the golden word that we always say?
Wash your fucking hands. And Eric Stewart coming back to New York City next Monday night. Gonna have a little bit of thoughts of that. So acoustic concert, Eric Stewart next week, Phil Nix, Bitter End, Bleecker Street. You have to be fully vaccinated. See you, everybody. Good night, 6:30 p.m.
All right. Night, everybody.
I like that Stream Element says, stay up to date with KG Prestige on Twitter, and my brain put commas in there. Stay up to date with KG on Twitter.
Holy shit.
If you stay up long enough, KG will date you on Twitter.
Hey.
That's what it is. I don't know, my brain is weird.
Oh, my. All right, everybody. Night.
Goodbye.
Date KG on Twitter.
.com.
on my Twitter.com.
Who posted my dates on Twitter.com?
My friend's wife, man. Oh my God.
Quizno, more like Quizno.
Oh, go watch Pants Ahead, everybody. All right.